puedo escribir por el chat que usted está conectado a la gente para que lo vean. ¿Me parece?
So starting the event. It started.
Okay. Excellencies, distinguished panelists, Empretec directors, and Empretec graduates, ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome to the 7th edition of the Global Empretec Summit of United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, titled Boosting Entrepreneurship, the Contribution of Empretec into the Post-COVID-19 Resurgence of the MSMEs. My name is Tatiana Krylova. I'm head of Enterprise Branch, the host of the Empretec program in the UN. So what is Emprotec? Emprotec is a flagship program of UNCTAD on entrepreneurship promotion. The name of Emprotec is an acronym of two words, emprendedores, entrepreneurs, and technology. These are Spanish words because Emprotec was first launched in Argentina. So the meaning of the Emprotec title is technology or methodology of entrepreneurship skills development. This methodology aims at unleashing entrepreneurial potential of participants based on a behavioral approach. And this is what makes Empretec different from other programs on entrepreneurship promotion. Another key feature of the Empretec program, as we would hear today later, is its high positive impact not only on participants and their businesses, but also on job creation and improvement of quality of life of other people, therefore on social and economic development of countries that host the Empretec program. And there are more than 40 national centers around the world, and we'll hear from some of them today. And today we will discuss both perspectives of impact of Empretec on development, from the perspective of policymakers and from the perspective of entrepreneurs. We will discuss the program itself in more details in the second part of the summit program, while we start the discussions on the role of entrepreneurship and Empretec program in promoting sustainable and inclusive growth in member states, particularly in the current context of the COVID-19 pandemic and in the post-pandemic resurgence. So with no further delay and to proceed with the summit program, I am very pleased to give the floor to Madame Isabel Durand, Acting Secretary General of UNCTAD, to open the event. Madame Durand, you have the floor, please.
Thank you, Tatiana. Good afternoon to all of you, Empretec directors, participants, ladies and gentlemen, friends of Empretec. It's for me a pleasure to introduce this edition of the Empretec Global Summit on the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development. And I have to share with you the fact that when it was possible to travel, not now, but in the past, each mission that I did in a country where an Empretec center existed already, I went to visit it because I think that it's probably one of the most, or the most concrete and really nice achievement of UNCTAD, of course, with you, a strong contribution. And it's true that we are here today to raise awareness and share good practices on the important role of entrepreneurship and micro, small and medium-sized enterprises for a post-COVID recovery. So given that we are more than 1 year from the start of the pandemic, we can try to assess which factors have helped certain SMEs or MSMEs to survive and even thrive, what lessons have been learned, and what else can be done to facilitate their green, inclusive, and good recovery. As we all know, MSMEs constitute the backbone of the global economy, accounting for 2/3 of employment globally and between 80 to 90% of employment in low-income countries. At the same time, they have been disproportionately affected by the pandemic. MSMEs are overrepresented in non-essential services sectors, which have been significantly impacted by the confinement measures. This led to sharp declines in revenue and in many cases to permanent closures. Entrepreneurs and MSMEs are critical for the recovery, and they can provide timely solutions to new economic, social, and environmental challenges due to their innovative flexibility and opportunity-seeking in nature. Their smaller size allows them to be flexible and adapt to new environments and emerging needs of society. Therefore, policymakers need to adapt policies and institutions to support and enable MSMEs emergence, expansion, and greater contribution to sustainable development. This should also be aligned with the priorities of the post-COVID-19 social and economic recovery. Short-term support measures, such as relieving tax burdens on MSMEs or extending debt finance and employment support, are certainly needed and should be continued. Yet at the same time, it is important to invest in long-term structural policies, such as digital and financial inclusion, as well as entrepreneurial skills capacity development. Ladies and gentlemen, for decades, UNCTAD has been a strong advocate for enterprise development and promoting entrepreneurship, especially for vulnerable groups such as women, youth, migrants, and refugees or informal workers. Our leading role in this area has been specifically recognized and highlighted in the latest resolution of the UN General Assembly on entrepreneurship for sustainable development of 2020. This resolution reiterated the positive contribution entrepreneurship can make to socioeconomic development and environmental sustainability. It highlights that entrepreneurship is more critical than ever for the economic recovery from the pandemic. It also makes specific reference to the Empretec program as a means to promote a behavior-based methodology for entrepreneurship promotion and entrepreneurial skills development. The flexibility of the Empretec program is also of great value. UNCTAD quickly adapted the program to the changing environment under COVID. It continued to support the Empretec centers and their networks of entrepreneurs through online and offline innovative tools and resources to build resilience and recovery. This Empretec Global Summit is special because it happens at a critical moment and presents much needed opportunities. It raised awareness on good practices implemented by key institutions as well as entrepreneurs themselves, and will inspire inclusive and sustainable action for the recovery. Developing an entrepreneurial mindset and behaviors is at the heart of the Empretec methodology, and just Tatiana mentioned that. Since its inception in 1988, the Empretec program and its 40 national Empretec centers have helped thousands of entrepreneurs build successful and profitable business, generate new jobs, and improve the quality of lives. And I would argue that the program can be a game changer. Today, we will hear inspiring success stories on how Empretec helped entrepreneurs on different fronts, for instance, to identify opportunities in high-risk and fast-changing environments of COVID-19, maintain motivation and self-confidence in these difficult times, quickly adapt their business model to the new normal, and deliver viable and timely solutions responding to urgent social needs. And this session probably is the best gift that the fantastic Empretec team in UNCTAD can receive, because they also adapt their practices, and I would really thank them for that. That's also the way to really encourage all of you in all what you did and what you will do to initiate and scale up new businesses. So to all of you, first of all, a big thanks for all what you are doing. And I hope that we will exchange and really learn about what can be done better in the near future. Thank you for your attention, and I will follow this interesting session.
Thank you, Madame Durand, for your very inspiring comments. I'm very sorry because I'm told that my video is not for some reason projecting, so we'll try to resolve the issue. So I hope that at some point I will appear as well. So now we will start with part one of the summit, and start with a high-level panel to discuss the role of entrepreneurship and MSMEs in the post-COVID-19 resurgence. So there will be key issues that we will be addressing, such as what have been the most significant impacts of COVID-19 on entrepreneurship and micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises, what are good practices and the lessons learned in addressing these impacts, what could be done to strengthen the resilience of SME sector to future shocks, and then, of course, how Empretec program can help in this regard. So we have a very impressive panel of leaders in the area of entrepreneurship policies promotion and entrepreneurship practices promotion as well. And without any further delay, I would like to give the floor to our first speaker, Her Excellency Ambassador Mariam Katagun, Honorable Minister of State for Industry, Trade and Investment from Nigeria. Excellency, you have the floor, please.
Thank you very much, Tatiana. The Acting Secretary General, UNCTAD, Excellencies, distinguished participants, good afternoon. I'm delighted to be part of this 7th Empretec Global Summit with the theme, the role of entrepreneurship, MSME and Emprotec in post-COVID-19 resurgence. The theme of this year's summit is very apt in the face of the COVID-19 pandemic. And as we're all aware, MSME sector is the engine of growth in any economy, contributing to its development, job creation, and export, amongst others. A recent MSME survey in Nigeria indicated that SMEs contribute nearly 50% of the country's GDP and account for over 80% of employment in the country. There is no doubt, therefore, that the sector is pivotal to our growth, including reducing poverty and employment levels. This is why government is working with stakeholders across all sectors to create the necessary enabling environment for entrepreneurs and MSMEs to ensure that they have the support to grow now and in the future. The impact of the COVID-19 pandemic has been very overwhelming and as evident in the deterioration of economic activities across the world. For Nigeria, it came on the back of the collapse of international oil prices, which along with the necessary lockdown further hampered the economic situation of the country. This led to significant disruption of the supply chains, production and trade activities. A lot of shops and factories were closed, while commercial activities and movement of goods and services within the country and beyond were severely constrained. This culminated in job losses and downsizing of various businesses, particularly in the MSME space. I would like to share three lessons learned or good practices from our angle. First of all, in order to mitigate the impact of COVID-19, the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment initiated an approach in partnership with the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria and other stakeholders by creating an emergency operations center. And this center addressed the critical needs in terms of movement of essential goods and pharmaceuticals, mainly food, agri-products, and as I said, pharmaceuticals. To ensure that there is no breakdown in the movement. So we had this operations center, which worked with the transporters to make sure, the vehicles are allowed to pass from state to state. And mark you, we have 36 states in the Federation. Secondly, the government, prior to the outbreak of COVID-19, initiated what we call MSME clinics, as a strategy aimed at providing support for the MSMEs in the country. And at these clinics, which is organized in the various states, operators in the MSME space are engaged by regulators and business advisory experts, ranging from entrepreneurship, skills development, finance, quality and standards on how to facilitate and grow their businesses and enterprises. And the third experience is that the federal government, through the Economic Sustainability Committee, announced specific programs aimed at cushioning the effect of COVID-19 on MSMEs. And these programs, and I'll just mention the one that had the impact on MSMEs, is a 75 billion Naira MSME Survival Fund and Guaranteed Offtake Scheme, which are managed under a steering committee, which I have the honor to chair. And what basically we're doing is trying to cushion the effects of COVID through schemes like the payroll support. We have support for artisans. We have support for those in the transportation sectors. And then we have support for MSMEs that are unable to benefit from any of the other schemes, as well as providing corporate affairs registration, that's formalization of the businesses, free of charge to up to 250,000 businesses. Now, what we also did was to try, as approved by Mr. President, to target 45% female-owned businesses, as well as 5% for those with special needs. So this program has been going on successfully, and the amount that's paid, whether as payroll support or just as a one-off grant, has made a lot of impact, and we have documented this impact. Sometimes we look at the amount as if it's small, but for a mechanic, that's all he needed to change a particular tool, or for a tailor, she needed to buy more zips and buy more thread or materials, and so on and so forth. Now, in terms of strengthening the resilience of MSMEs, government has just in the last month or two approved a revised national policy on MSMEs, which provides the framework to resolve the challenges faced by the sector. It also includes an action plan and institutional framework for implementation. And I'm optimistic that the policy will set the MSMEs on a path of sustainable growth and development. In the same vein, we have engaged several stakeholders to enrich the draft national policy on startups, which is designed to keep pace with innovation and the new wave of digital revolution of startup ecosystems in the country, and reposition Nigerian startups to be major contributors to the nation's GDP. And on this note, I would like to commend the active participation of Empretec at the stakeholders' engagement for the meaningful input which they provided, which we think has enriched the policy in terms of overall economic well-being of the country. Now, it is important for me going forward to mention that we have the National Enterprises Development Program, which we call NEDEP, and it's an intervention that has three tripods. One of our agencies does the entrepreneurship training, the other does the skills training, and there's a bank of industry that provides access to credit. And it is my hope that Empretec, which plays a very similar role to our SMEDAN, which is the entrepreneurship agency, that Empretec will synergize more with relevant implementing government agencies, such as the Small and Medium Enterprises Agencies and the Industrial Training Fund, to upscale the growth and development of entrepreneurs and the MSMEs. And I would like to stop here and to thank you very much for inviting me to share some of our experiences at this summit. And I wish the summit very successful deliberations. Thank you.
Thank you, Excellency, for your valuable remarks on the entrepreneurship and MSME promotion in Nigeria. We look forward to our further cooperation in promoting entrepreneurship policies in the country, as well as also strengthening further our cooperation with Empretec Nigeria, which is really going from strength to strength. So thank you very much. So we now proceed with our next speaker, and our next speaker is Mr. Amadeu Litao Nunes, Secretary of State and Commerce, for Commerce, Minister of Industry and Commerce from Angola. Mr. Nunes, you have the floor, please. Mr. Nunes? Okay, so I think we have some connection issues here. So then let's proceed with our next speaker, and then we will have Mr. Nunes also to speak when he would join the summit. So then we will proceed with our next speaker, Mr. Eduardo Hacker, President of Banco de la Nacion, Argentina. Mr. Hacker, you have the floor, please.
Sorry, you are muted.
Mr. Hacker, you are still muted.
A ver, ¿ahora me escucha bien? ¿Me escucha en este momento? ¿Me escucha bien? Bueno, entonces, nuevamente, buenas tardes. En la Argentina es de mañana, es de día, pero buenas tardes a todos y todas quienes están escuchando y les agradezco la posibilidad de participar en esta jornada del día de hoy. En la Argentina, la Fundación Empretec es una fundación constituida con 3 componentes: el Banco de la Nación Argentina, la UNCTAD y la Unión Industrial de la Argentina. Sin duda, la emergencia sanitaria por la pandemia de COVID-19 ha generado efectos tremendos y duraderos en la salud de la población y también en la economía de la Argentina y en las pequeñas y medianas empresas. En la Argentina hubo 2 momentos muy diferenciados en cuanto a la economía, que fue hasta el mes de noviembre del año pasado, octubre, noviembre, en donde la economía cayó fuertemente y a partir de ahí hubo una recuperación, pero estamos atravesando nuevamente ahora una segunda ola y esperando que el programa de vacunación en su expansión genere las posibilidades de salir adelante en un periodo relativamente breve. El gobierno de la Argentina instrumentó en la emergencia una buena cantidad de medidas para el apoyo a las pequeñas y medianas empresas, como por ejemplo un programa para el pago de salarios a las empresas que estaban sin posibilidades de trabajar y que se fue disminuyendo en la medida que más empresas pudieron empezar a producir, y en la gestión de una política crediticia a tasas de interés negativas para las pequeñas y medianas empresas, tanto para sus procesos de inversión como de capital de trabajo de corto plazo, para seguir produciendo y en algunos casos para pagar las nóminas salariales. La actividad del Banco Nación ha sido importante en este proceso. El Banco Nación es el banco más importante de la Argentina, es un banco público que es propiedad del Estado Nacional, y en el año 2020 se inició una primera etapa de créditos a pequeñas y medianas empresas de sectores claves vinculados a la producción de medicamentos y de alimentos, por ejemplo, y que se continuó en un programa más amplio que nos permitió otorgar créditos a pequeñas, medianas empresas y en algunos casos también grandes empresas por un monto total de unos 2.000 millones de dólares, un poco más que eso. La cuestión vinculada a la resiliencia de las empresas, en ese punto lo que nos ha permitido observar la pandemia primero son las fragilidades, pero también las fortalezas de un núcleo importante de empresas en nuestro país, en la Argentina. Creo que una de las consecuencias más importantes, y eso se ve tanto en la industria, el comercio o el sector financiero, es la aceleración de los tiempos de la transformación digital, y parte de nuestras actividades tienden a fortalecer las capacidades de las empresas en términos de avanzar en esa transformación digital. En este año 2020 hemos relanzado la Fundación Empretec con un nuevo presidente y empezamos a trabajar fuertemente en lo que hemos denominado el ecosistema Banco Nación, de lo cual Empretec es una parte sustantiva, en tanto nos permite realizar actividades de capacitación, actividades de formación y actividades de transferencia para que un núcleo de pequeñas, medianas y empresas y emprendedores tengan posibilidades de acceder a esa información, a esa capacitación, pero también posibilidades de acceder a los servicios financieros, que es una parte muy importante para que puedan aumentar su producción, crecer y transformarse en empresas cada vez más potentes. Este acercamiento al mundo financiero es importante en tanto que es uno de los elementos que han sido siempre débiles en las empresas en la Argentina, particularmente las pequeñas y medianas, que han tenido escasa capacidad de acceso al financiamiento, tanto para corto plazo como para las inversiones. Por eso hemos puesto al Banco Nación al frente de este proceso y estamos trabajando fuertemente desde la Fundación Empretec y lo seguiremos haciendo con la ayuda de la UNCTAD en este caso para poder aportar este proceso que tiene en esta etapa un eje muy fuerte en lo que se ha dado a llamar la economía del conocimiento, la economía 4.0, que nos parece que va a ser un elemento vital para que la Argentina pueda incorporarse al mundo, al comercio internacional y mejorar sus condiciones de producción, sus condiciones de innovación y de mejoras productivas y de generación de puestos de trabajo en el país, en la Argentina. Se mencionaba también el rol de las mujeres. Como Banco Nación hemos instrumentado líneas de créditos que tienen mejoras en la tasa de interés a empresas que son gestionadas por mujeres, porque pensamos también que en este proceso se han agudizado la preocupación y desde nuestro punto de vista las acciones concretas en todo lo que tiene que ver con la inclusión financiera, en trabajar fuertemente en las cuestiones de género para que esto sea parte no circunstancial, sino permanente de la asistencia financiera a las empresas y prestar atención a ese eje. En definitiva, quiero decir que estamos trabajando en las condiciones concretas y conocidas que tiene el mundo de hoy, pero convencido de que vamos por un camino para la recuperación, desde un punto de vista sanitario, pero también de la economía, a partir de hacer fuerte nuestra asistencia y nuestro trabajo con las pequeñas y medianas empresas, que son el eje para generar puestos de trabajo y para mantener estos puestos de trabajo. Les agradezco a todos por su atención.
Thank you, Mr. Hacker, for your insightful comments. We are particularly inspired by your presence today, as Banco de la Nacion of Argentina is actually a co-founder of the Empretec network, together with the UN, being the longest hosting institution of the longest Empretec center in the Empretec history. And the very name of the Empretec program, as I mentioned in the beginning, actually comes from this partnership of UN and the Banco. Thank you so much for your support. And again, we look forward to our further cooperation. So we proceed with our panel, and our next speaker is Ms. Carmen Sanchez, President of the National Development Agency of Uruguay. So Mrs. Sanchez, you have the floor, please.
Muchas gracias, Tatiana. Buenos días para todos desde Uruguay. En primer lugar, quiero agradecer a la UNCTAD y a Empretec por la invitación a participar de esta conferencia, al tiempo que aprovecho a saludar a los colegas con los que compartimos este panel. Permítanme comenzar por un paneo de cuál es la situación de pequeñas y medianas empresas en Uruguay. El 99% de las empresas de nuestro país son MIPYMES, lo cual alcanza alrededor de unas 190.000 empresas, y representan el 40% del PIB de Uruguay. Pero además, cuando hablamos de empleo, el 67% del empleo en el sector privado es generado por este tipo de empresas. Es decir, que las micro, pequeñas y medianas empresas del Uruguay son las responsables de dar trabajo a 2 de cada 3 uruguayos empleados en el sector privado. Pero el rol de las pymes cobra una importancia aún mayor en un contexto como el actual, en donde las pequeñas empresas, por su mayor flexibilidad y la capacidad de adaptación a los cambios, son claves para la reactivación de nuestra economía. Sin embargo, estas pequeñas empresas son a su vez las más vulnerables, son las que quedaron más expuestas, las que más sufrieron la crisis y las que tienen menos espalda para afrontar y superar esta situación. Para poner un ejemplo, entre los meses de febrero y junio del 2020, que fue donde se dio el mayor confinamiento en nuestro país, cerraron casi el 4% de las MIPYMES y se destruyeron unos 40.000 puestos de trabajo, que representó el 6% del empleo total en el sector. Por eso, desde que se decretó la emergencia sanitaria el 13 de marzo del 2020, la prioridad del gobierno fue la implementación de una serie de medidas de política económica y de política social, con el objetivo de mantener encendidos los motores de la economía, como decía nuestra ministra, para proteger la recuperación de este sector. Y aquí la atención y el apoyo a emprendedores fue contundente. El gobierno colocó a las MIPYMES en el centro de la política económica para protegerlos y apoyarlos para salir de la crisis económica. Se tomaron un conjunto de medidas de alivio tributario, como diferimiento de los pagos y exoneración de aportes a la Dirección de Impositiva o al Banco de Previsión Social. Se incluyeron una serie de medidas que aportaron liquidez a las empresas, por ejemplo, subsidio para microemprendedores, artesanos, artistas, un seguro por cese de actividad para más de 70.000 empresas cuentapropistas, un programa de subsidio a la tasa de interés para préstamos de microfinanzas, lo que permitió bajar la tasa de interés casi en un 70%. El Banco de la República Oriental del Uruguay, el Banco País, estableció líneas de crédito con menores tasas, plazos más largos e importantes periodos de gracia, y se capitalizó lo que es el Sistema Nacional de Garantías, que permitió a los bancos ampliar el otorgamiento de financiamiento a las MIPYMES por hasta 2.500 millones de dólares. Pero además, el Ministerio de Trabajo implementó un subsidio especial por desempleo parcial para trabajadores de la actividad privada afectados por la pandemia. Se otorgó un incentivo económico para empresas que reintegraran o incorporaran nuevos trabajadores, que fue una medida muy utilizada por las pequeñas empresas. Se estableció un subsidio por enfermedad a todos los trabajadores mayores de 65 años para que no concurran a trabajar, siendo que eran la población de riesgo. Pero no todos fueron apoyos económicos. También desde la Agencia Nacional de Desarrollo nos propusimos además estar muy cerca de nuestros beneficiarios, y esto creo que fue un diferencial en atención a la pandemia. Abrimos nuevos canales de comunicación, estuvimos atendiendo y asesorando a más de 1.200 empresas por día durante los meses críticos, otorgamos un asesoramiento financiero y de gestión a las MIPYMES con el objetivo de que estas empresas cuenten con herramientas para una mejor toma de decisiones. Algo que para nosotros era también muy importante, creamos una red de atención a emprendedores y MIPYMES integradas por más de 70 instituciones en los 19 departamentos de nuestro país para poder mejorar el acceso a la información y la contención a las empresas de todo el país. Creamos un almacén de herramientas disponible en nuestra página web que junta, es un espacio que tiene contenidos especialmente seleccionados para atender los problemas comunes de los emprendedores y de las MIPYMES. Creamos un espacio de café emprendedor para abordar temáticas de interés a los emprendedores, así como webinars también para las MIPYMES en 3 áreas claves como digitalización, finanzas y el cambio en el modelo de negocio que necesariamente tenían que encarar. Además, se creó un fondo en conjunto con los gobiernos departamentales para financiar proyectos regionales y municipales, y por supuesto continuamos con los tradicionales programas de Capital Semilla para Emprendimientos, mentorías y otros programas donde también trabajamos en conjunto con Empretec Uruguay. Ahora bien, ¿qué podemos esperar de aquí en más? En los últimos meses aumentó muchísimo la demanda de nuestros apoyos, tuvimos récord de postulaciones, lo cual demuestra que los uruguayos tenían proyectos y propuestas y que están viendo que emprender es una opción. El año pasado se dieron muchas condiciones adversas, pero al mismo tiempo se dieron muchas oportunidades, y el emprendedor que tuvo olfato para poder verlas logró sacarlas adelante. Ahora estamos viendo por las consultas que tenemos y, como decía, por la demanda de instrumentos, hay mucha gente que está interesada o directamente está emprendiendo. Algunos serán emprendimientos de corte más dinámicos, pero muchos van a ser emprendimientos por necesidad, porque sin duda el mercado laboral no está respondiendo con la rapidez necesaria. Cuando mucha gente en estos periodos de crisis, la gente ve peligrar su trabajo, sin duda ve al emprendimiento como una forma de generar empleo, y ahí tenemos que trabajar mucho en apoyar estos nuevos emprendedores. De hecho, si analizamos la evolución de la tasa de actividad emprendedora en los últimos años, venía relativamente estable, y en el 2020 tenemos ya indicadores que muestran un aumento extraordinario. Por otro lado, vemos un cambio bien importante en aquellos emprendedores que están pensando en poner un emprendimiento y que desde el inicio piensan en algo digital. Ha cambiado la lógica de cómo los emprendedores piensan llegar al cliente, y esto es muy importante porque existe un nicho grande para trabajar en todo lo que tiene que ver con la transformación digital, y ahí es en lo que estamos trabajando también en la agencia para ver cómo podemos ayudar a estas empresas a migrar a modelos de uso de nuevas tecnologías. La mayoría de las MIPYMEs en Uruguay todavía están lejos de sacar ventajas de las nuevas tecnologías, y ahí queremos apoyarlas. Finalmente, no quiero terminar sin mencionar lo que para nosotros es un gran anhelo, que es trabajar en el espíritu emprendedor en los más jóvenes. Desde la agencia tenemos un programa piloto de habilidades emprendedoras en etapas tempranas, pero como decía, es aún un piloto, por lo que nuestro gran desafío es poder extenderlo y trabajar cada vez con más jóvenes que vean el emprendimiento como una opción de vida. Muchas gracias.
Thank you, Ms. Sanchez, for your thoughtful remarks on the impact of entrepreneurship on development. We have an excellent record of cooperation with Empretec Uruguay, particularly recently on adapting Empretec to people with low literacy, besides other cooperative activities that we have. And we look forward to strengthening this cooperation further, particularly in this challenging context of COVID-19 resurgence. So thank you very much for your support and this cooperation. And again, very sorry that I still cannot sort out my camera, but I hope I will still be able to do it. So we will proceed with our next speaker, Mr. Ibrahim bin Hamad Al Rashid, who is a CEO of Social Development Bank of Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Mr. Rashid, you have the floor, please. Mr. Rashid, you are muted.
Good afternoon. If I may present for the Social Development Bank, good afternoon, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, yes. So before I begin, I wish to thank Tatiana and the UNCTAD team for their collaboration with us at the Social Development Bank of Saudi Arabia, which has undoubtedly led to the success of the program and the positive impact it has had on many Saudi entrepreneurs. Moving forward, and with the COVID-19 restrictions loosening up, we hope to resume the program to aid many small and medium enterprises in achieving a greater success. If you may allow me, I would like to give a quick overview on the Social Development Bank with its unique position. The Social Development Bank has been actively working for the past 50 years as a full-fledged development financial institution in Saudi Arabia, supporting and pioneering the MSMEs cause all along the way. And as a matter of fact, the bank is one of the most significant governmental pillars, not just in Saudi Arabia, but in the MENA area. We offer social development loans to the underserved segment of society, as well as business loans to SMEs, whether registered or unregistered. This unique position has actually further materialized with the advent of the COVID-19 pandemic, which has posed unprecedented challenges across the globe, causing a lot of businesses to struggle. But on the bright side, we have seen a number of important lessons learned. For example, we observed that a great shift to home-based businesses was in effect. with a lot of businesses closing down to the lockdown, we observed a lot of home businesses thriving, particularly with the aid of online services and the rise of delivery services across the kingdom. Ride-sharing apps, for example, their revenue tripled during the same period. At the same time, the government provided a $13 billion stimulus led by the Saudi Central Bank, leading a series of initiatives aiming to mitigate and alleviate the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. This 13 billion real program aims to support the private sector by helping the various enterprises restore their financial balance and enabling them to continue their integral role in promoting the economic growth. As for SDB, and under the umbrella of the National Development Fund, in line with the national efforts, SDB has been at the forefront of extending support to both the social and business lending beneficiaries, aiming to mitigate the impact of the pandemic. To name some of the initiatives that we participated in, we've increased the social lending supply from more than $500 million to more than $1 billion to fulfill low-income family consumption basket and ensure financial inclusion for more than 78,000 beneficiaries. At the same time, to continue our mission in alleviating financial literacy, whether across individuals or elevating financial literacy among business entrepreneurs. At the same time, and businesses literacy as well. At the same time, we increased our business lending supply from $1 billion to 1.7 billion, targeting the support of more than 90,000 MSMEs across the kingdom, micro, small, and medium enterprises. We also activated a 6-month loan deferment program benefiting more than 12,000 enterprises, which should bring some financial sustainability for them, which help them achieve some financial stability for the past period and maintain the employment. Finally, we also introduced a working capital program, out of which a standalone healthcare portfolio of more than 1 billion riyals was created, aiming to support health facilities across the kingdom and enabling them to play a vital role in the wake of the pandemic. It is really important for us to observe the positive lessons learned for these businesses. We've seen a lot of entrepreneurs forced to shift their business strategies, forced perhaps for the first time to reach out to obtain loans, etc., and also seeking various forms of non-financial aid in the form of counseling, training, etc., to help them become sustainable. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Rashid, for your remarks. And also I would like to thank the Social Development Bank for this excellent cooperation they have over years on promoting entrepreneurship and Empretec in Saudi Arabia, but also in the region. So thank you for this cooperation, and I look forward to our further efforts together. I am informed that Mr. Amadeo Nunes is now connected, the Secretary of State for Commerce from the Ministry of Industry and Commerce from Angola. So if this is, yes, I can see you. Hello, good afternoon. So you, Mr. Nunes, you have the floor, please.
Boa tarde. Vou falar em português. Boa tarde a todos. Boa tarde, Tatiana. É um prazer estar aqui. Excelência Isabel Duran, secretária-geral interina da COMETEC, senhores representantes da COMETEC, empresários que estejam a escutar, empretecos e empretecas. Portanto, em nome de Sua Excelência o Ministro da Indústria e Comércio de Angola, o engenheiro Vítor Francisco Fernandes, gostaria muito de estar aqui presente, mas infelizmente, por razões de calendário, teve uma reunião fora do Ministério. Portanto, tenho a honra de participar deste magno evento para dirigir algumas palavras de circunstância e partilhar em grandes linhas a experiência de Angola com a Empretec. É por demais sabido que o contexto atual da pandemia da Covid-19 que assola o mundo impõe desafios enormes à economia global, com consequências devastadoras e cujo impacto ainda está por avaliar, exacerbando fragilidades estruturais de economias de países menos avançados, como é o nosso caso. Como é do conhecimento geral, Angola é um país vasto, com uma população muito jovem, dinâmica, criativa e que aspira a estar comprometida com o futuro. Nesta perspectiva, o Executivo angolano vem desenvolvendo um conjunto de reformas do setor econômico, visando a melhoria do ambiente de negócios e o fomento do empreendedorismo, com particular ênfase na juventude, grupos vulneráveis, bem como o desenvolvimento do empreendedorismo feminino. A nossa experiência com a Empretec remonta aos anos 2003-2004, no qual estive pessoalmente envolvido, na altura, como representante comercial de Angola em Genebra, junto da Organização Mundial de Comércio e outras instituições de caráter comercial, nomeadamente a Competencies do CSI. Foi nessa altura que eu conheci a Tatiana, portanto, já vai há algum tempo. E, portanto, dizia que nesta primeira, em 2003, 2004, foram formados alguns empretecs que hoje continuam a trabalhar e que são hoje alguns bons empresários angolanos. E essa parceria foi muito boa entre o governo angolano e, na altura, com a Chevron e o apoio técnico da UNCTAD. Anos depois, o Executivo angolano, no âmbito do Programa Conjunto da União Europeia e da Conferência das Nações Unidas para Comércio e Desenvolvimento, denominado Train for Trade 2, o programa Empretec foi reintroduzido em Angola. Este programa tem demonstrado resultados bastante animadores, focado sobretudo na juventude, que está ávida do conhecimento e de vontade de contribuir para o desenvolvimento deste nosso país. Até o momento, o programa já formou mais de 350 empreendedores nesta segunda fase, muitos dos quais com sucesso comprovado na nossa praça. O programa formou ainda 4 formadores nacionais e está em conclusão a formação de 2 formadores e formadores nacionais. Com isto, acreditamos ter condições para a sustentabilidade do Empretec em Angola, através de parcerias com instituições nacionais e o apoio da UNCTAD. Referir que este programa não está isolado do contexto nacional. Com efeito, nós temos um Instituto Nacional para as Pequenas e Médias Empresas, com o qual o Empretec interage de forma dinâmica na formação dos jovens empreendedores angolanos, no sentido de dar a primazia e colocar o setor privado no seu verdadeiro papel de desenvolvimento econômico do país. Para terminar, quero agradecer à UNCTAD pela assistência e apoio técnico nesta e noutras matérias de desenvolvimento econômico, bem como a União Europeia, que financiou este programa, e pela parceria estratégica que tem o Estado angolano. Peço também o apoio de todos os países que neste momento estão. Temos uma parceria muito importante com o Brasil, através da SEBRAE. O primeiro programa Empretec foi desenvolvido com o SEBRAE e gostaríamos de manter esta ligação, não só com o SEBRAE, como as outras instituições, com os outros programas Empretec, os outros países estão aqui presentes. Por isso, e nesta senda, eu agradeço mais uma vez o convite que nos foi feito do lado, Nós estamos empenhados em no desenvolvimento do nosso país e, sobretudo, no empreendedorismo dos nossos jovens e das nossas mulheres. Muito obrigado pela vossa atenção.
Thank you, Mr. Nunes, so much for your remarks. And of course, it's great that having started in 2004, we had this opportunity to respect. Sorry, is everything okay? Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. No, I was thinking.
Tudo bem, sim.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nunes, for your comments, for your intervention. And again, it's great that
obrigado mais uma vez.
That we had this opportunity to continue our cooperation when we started in 2003, 2004. And in a true entrepreneurial spirit, we didn't give up at that stage. And so we relaunched the program 3 years ago. And it's really very impressive, this progress that we are making. And also the Empretec Angola, this second stage of its implementation is a young program. So we really have a great progress, and it's really evolving like one of strongest Empretec centers in the Empretec network. So we really look forward to our further cooperation. So, so we will proceed with our high-level panel, and our next speaker.
Obrigado, Tatiana.
Thank you. Obrigada. Muito obrigada. Yes, so we continue with our next speaker. It's Mr. Bruno Quick, Technical Director of Micro and Small Business Support Services Agency, SEBRAE, from Brazil. So Mr. Quick, you have the floor, please.
Okay, thank you very much. Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon. Well, I'd like to compliment all the participants, the partners, and the organizers in the name of Ms. Isabel and Tatiana. Well, I'll speak in English so it can be translated to other languages, okay? It would be easier for me to speak in Portuguese.
Yes,
anyway,
please.
Okay. There are two aspects relating to SMEs to be considered in this COVID-19 pandemic. The first, a very negative one, that's the interruption of the flow of business in the small business, especially those in retail and service. Most importantly, those based on on-site attendance. This adverse effects has kept companies from operating, either due to isolation imposed by authorities, or by customers concerned to be made present in establishments. Those companies are the major responsible for generating and keeping jobs in Brazil, I guess in everywhere. This situation has led companies to a disruption in their revenues, forcing many to decrease the number of employees, firing some of them, or even closing their businesses. This scenario has also caused high indebtedness despite the great effort of public policies everywhere. In Brazil, it happened too, such as employment maintenance programs, reduced cost financing and loans, special loans, as well as postponing the payment of tax and other legal obligations. Although there is also a positive side that forced companies or stimulated companies by forcing them by the reality to move forward in customer relationship management and digital transformation, knowing better the client, mainly for not presential relations. The advancement in digital transformation also promotes innovation in the sense of achieving distinguishment and the addition of value by the customers. This idea of knowing the difference in between each client in making more added value for every one of them. If there is a convenient side, it's the digitalization, improvements in management, attention to the customer needs, and greater caution with costs. This concern about cutting costs, being more efficient. In order to strengthen the resilience of these SMEs in future crises, it's necessary to move forward with digital transformation, make qualification support and service policies more accessible to small business. Sometimes they are not accessible. Enhance funding mechanisms, mainly through fintechs and those credit unions and local banks. Formulate and implement rapid response public policies in times of market restriction and drop of revenues, including dealing with with company debts. Sorry about that. About Empretec program, I'd like to point a few aspects. Empretec is the main entrepreneurship training program in the world. Only Brazil, through our history with the program, we have reached more than 288,000 participants. It's a very successful program with potential to explore further spaces. That's important. There is a feeling of belonging among Empretec participants that is related to being part of a distinctive network. This needs to be strengthened. Each Empretec participant can be worked as part of a construction of a larger network to serve themselves and others. Regardless of the time one has participated in the Empretec program, the network must maintain an active pool of participation. In a crisis like this, we've seen the value of having mature and successful entrepreneurs, which, in addition to being very competent in managing their own businesses, can also act as mentors for the less mature and less prepared business and entrepreneurs. Sebrae has launched a new format of business support called Up Digital, which consists in a 10-day online immersion with 3 mentors, a sectorist, a digital transformation specialist, and a mature entrepreneur, which is chosen in between the Empretec participants. What we aim to achieve with Empretec participants is their transformation in senior entrepreneurs acting as mentors. Thus, the network of Empretec participants is able to multiply skills through guidance, support, and mentoring other entrepreneurs. This network has huge potential for further exploration to help companies, other companies that don't participate of Empretec program. This is the experience of Empretec participants, overcoming challenges that can be extended to millions of entrepreneurs in Brazil and others as well as in other countries. Empretec is undoubtedly a transformative experience, a milestone in the lives of many. During the pandemic, the program has continued to prove that with the practice of entrepreneurial behavior, it is possible to push entrepreneurship itself, helping small business owners to search for opportunities in high-risk environments, while making challenging decisions and persisting in the commitment to the attainment of positive results. In addition, to quickly adapting their business model to a new reality, delivering viable solutions to society needs, expanding opportunities, generating good jobs and revenue for many, promoting innovation, productivity, economic sustainable development with social inclusion. So a huge network of Empretec participants could make viable huge programs to push, to improve other companies in nationwide programs. So that's a proposal that we'd like to make part of it and collaborate with other countries in this new challenge. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Quick, for your inspirational intervention and for support that Cibraia provides for the entrepreneurship promotion in Brazil and actually in the continent as well. And for many years, UNCTAD has been benefiting from our great cooperation with Cibraia and from the efforts that are invested in Cibraia by Cibraia into the Empretec promotion in the country and also facilitating its further expansion again in the region, but also at a global level. So we really value highly this cooperation and we look forward to strengthening it further and also in particular developing of new products that we were so successfully doing jointly in the past. Thank you very much and look forward again for our cooperation. So let's proceed with our panel. Our next speaker is Mr. Patrick Nemo, Chief Director of Ministry of Trade and Industry from Ghana. Mr. Nemo, you have the floor, please.
Thank you. Thank you, session moderator. Acting Secretary General of UNCTAD, Elizabeth Duran, Your Excellencies, Ministers of State, colleagues from the Global Empretec fraternity, ladies and gentlemen. First, I would like to thank the team from UNCTAD Geneva for the invitation and opportunity for me to share a few thoughts at this very important summit. I wish to also convey warm and fraternal greetings from Ghana's Minister of Trade and Industry, Alan Chermating, a man of many parts who, as you may recall, addressed the last summit on account of his contribution over the years to the development of the Empretec program. He was founding CEO of Empretec Ghana Foundation, which he transformed into a first-class entrepreneurship and business development institution, and thereafter continued to champion Empretec across Africa as Regional Director of the UNDP Enterprise Africa Regional Program, working in collaboration with UNCTAD. This summit is particularly timely and necessary because the world is in a state of transition from the uncertainties of a devastating pandemic to the more hopeful signs across the globe of an emerging recovery with prospects for a post-COVID resurgence. And I believe that entrepreneurship policy is going to be at the heart of this inclusive recovery. And Empretec, and indeed UNCTAD, are uniquely positioned to champion this within the policy space created by COVID. Without a doubt, entrepreneurs and small businesses will play a massive role in transforming the ways we do business, both physically and remotely, or at least in how we harness the benefits of rapid change and innovation. In terms of COVID, in Ghana, the emergence of the pandemic in March 2020 had significant impact on the economy, especially on micro, small, and medium enterprises, whether it is in retail, services, or industrial production. I'll just recap a number of impacts. They include loss of revenue, earnings, and sales due to downtime and complete work stoppage, loss of export earnings through cancellation of export orders in sectors that are sensitive to delivery times, such as fruits and vegetables, garments and textiles, disruption of global chains, supply chains, resulting in delays in receiving import inputs and raw materials affecting production scheduling, delays in shipping export orders, adjustment costs in respect of production operations, payroll replacement costs, costs associated with the loss of perishable raw materials and inputs during the lockdown period when there was no production, job losses due to capacity underutilization, challenges in meeting loan servicing and other contractual obligations, reduction in demand for products arising from reduced purchasing power, disruption in trade facilitation activities, including but not limited to disruption in port operations, leading to increases in port charges for importers, demurrage and rent challenges, increases in freight costs arising from rerouting of cargo. These were some of the impacts that were recorded. But also, there were positive impacts. Import substitution was considerably enhanced with local production of essential items, including processed food, fruit juices and non-alcoholic beverages, garments and textiles, especially PPEs, pharmaceuticals, immunity boosters, and then multivitamins, industrial chemicals, chlorine-based bleaches and ethanol, personal care products, soap, hand sanitizer, antiseptic products, sanitary wipes, and napkins, plastic products, paper products, and packaging. Also, there was a positive impact in terms of response and adoption of the digitization schemes and programs that had already been launched, some of which enhanced financial inclusion considerably. And these are the highlights of government's response program. Promotion of workplace protocols and introduction of restrictions such as social distancing on factory floors, staff rotation, and the use of PPEs, the fumigation of premises in addition to existing COVID protocols, allocation of an amount of 1.25 billion cedis to finance the activities under the program, a stimulus package amounting to 600 million and an additional 150 million cedis, which works out as a total of about 131 million US dollars, with a 1-year moratorium and 2-year repayment period for small SMEs, as relief for small SMEs. And particularly local production of face masks, head covers, medical scrubs, hospital gowns, and for frontline workers and students. Government launched a coronavirus alleviation program called the Business Support Scheme, CABA's Business Support Scheme. This provided financing for working capital requirements, procurement of raw materials for immediate use, general operational and administrative expenses, rent, salaries, and utilities, and other needs of SMEs that positively impact on the retention of human resources. 289,000 beneficiaries accessed this scheme, this relief scheme. Going forward, government has also announced 100 billion cedi COVID-19 alleviation revitalization program, CARES, which seeks to accelerate the implementation of the following programs by providing support to the private sector and targeted sectors in order to accelerate competitive import substitution and export expansion in light manufacturing, and by optimizing the government's economic flagships and key programs for greater resource and financial sustainability. Among the programs that are being promoted is support to commercial farming to attract educated youth into agriculture, building Ghana's light manufacturing sector, especially in rice, poultry, cassava, sugar, tomatoes, pharmaceuticals, and textiles and garments, developing machine tools and ICT digital economy industries, fast-tracking digitization, developing Ghana's housing and construction industry, establishing Ghana as a regional hub for finance, trade, and investment, and reviewing and optimizing the implementation of existing programs. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe one of the signal benefits that this support gave us during the height of the COVID crisis was work that had been done in supporting 110 garment manufacturing companies to enhance their capacity, ensure that they remained in full production, particularly for the production of PPEs. During the period, 33.6 million nose masks, 600,000 medical scrubs, and 90,000 hospital gowns were produced for the Ministry of Health and the Ministry of Education. In the pharmaceutical sector, similarly, manufacturing capacity that had been boosted turned out to be a godsend for our COVID response. Distinguished colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, I've had the privilege of working across a handful of African countries, including involvement in setting up entrepreneurship programs based on the Empretec model and formulating and implementing entrepreneurship development policies. Even more exciting has been my work over the past 25 years, directly interacting with countless entrepreneurs, particular entrepreneurs that have gone through the Empretec program, in finding better ways to support their aspirations and projects. Empretec nurtured entrepreneurs have the motivation and ability to weather the storm, create wealth, sustain jobs, and improve standards of living for themselves, their employees, and other businesses, even in the midst of the daunting challenges and risks. They see opportunities and adapt to the new normal. They will drive change and innovation, especially where new products and services are needed and where new markets can be developed. I believe the Empretec program is so significant, it can make a predictable and significant difference in the quality of entrepreneurship needed for recovery. Across Africa, we have invested in a myriad of programs that promote entrepreneurship, mentorship, and coaching, but none like the tried and tested Empretec program so systematically and comprehensively changes the most fundamental personal, behavioral, and attitudinal competence of the individual entrepreneur based on what is required for growth and success as an entrepreneur. I've had the privilege of hearing countless testimonies of individuals from diverse backgrounds and in countries as culturally diverse as Ghana, Botswana, South Africa, Mauritius, Namibia, Ethiopia, Mozambique, Zimbabwe, Nigeria, and Namibia. At graduation ceremonies, they uniformly attest to the same transformational effects they have experienced in the course of the Empretec training workshop. It is truly an amazing sight to witness these testimonies that acknowledge that the ETW, with its certified trainers and experienced master trainers, always delivers the exact same outcome as designed to achieve. I think this is a significant plus that must be harnessed as we go forward. I personally can vouch for the Empretec program's impact in directly influencing the success of countless entrepreneurs in Africa, in Ghana, Africa, and elsewhere. I can also vouch for the impact of the networking and peer learning bonds of friendship achieved by colleague Empretecos through the National Empretec Associations constituted by ETW graduates. Even more so in Ghana, where the Empretec Foundation has since its establishment administered ETWs to thousands of entrepreneurs. I believe 10,000 to 15,000 will be a conservative estimate. Most Empretecos are now celebrated in Ghana as the best, indeed the creme de la creme of business owners and managers and respected captains of industry in their respective sectors of the economy, who are able, I believe, to contribute to the recovery. The 10 personal entrepreneurial competencies that underpin the ETW model have proven to be important in motivating excellence and commitment to operational efficiency in the business setting, but also even in the public sector, where we've tried building young public servants, their capacity by getting them to go through the entrepreneurship training workshop. In order to reinforce the resounding success of this flagship ETW, Empretec Ghana, which works closely with UNCTAD to support the installation of Empretec programs in Africa, has developed and implemented a comprehensive post-training aftercare program and implemented that for over 20 years. Like the ETW, the aftercare program is codified into SOPs to facilitate technical assistance to new Empretec programs. As Empretecos for life, we look forward to working closely with UNCTAD and sister Empretec programs in Africa and elsewhere to expand the frontiers of the Empretec program, as we hope to chart a path towards a more inclusive recovery of our economies from the pandemic. Your trade and investment networking partnerships as Empretecos can make a big difference. Let us continue to strengthen the Empretec program to open doors to new ideas, innovative financing, access to new markets, and access to partnerships, especially within the context of the African Continental Free Trade Area and its 1.2 billion population that offers a new frontier for expanding production and markets. Thank you very much for your kind attention.
Thank you, Mr. Nemo, for such an insightful comments. And of course, Empretec Ghana and personally, Excellency Martin has played a special role in the Empretec promotion on the African continent, and it led to Empretec installations in many countries in Africa, and we're really grateful for our continued cooperation in further installations going further, and especially when the COVID-19 situation permits. But again, I would like to thank you for this cooperation in the past and already including during the COVID-19 lockdowns, and we look forward to making it stronger in the future. So, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the first part of the summit that highlighted how critical is entrepreneurship and SMEs, MSMEs, micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises in sustainable development. So we used to say, to bring statistics, that MSME sector brings up to 90% of GDP and 90% of employment. So, and COVID-19 clearly showed how important is this sector in the economic and social development. Of course, it was disproportionately hit by pandemic 19, but it also has a key role to play in the resurgence, and also the important role is played by national Empretec centers and programs in this regard. So I would like to sincerely thank our distinguished panelists, and so we look forward to our further cooperation on boosting entrepreneurship and its positive impact on development and post-COVID-19 resurgence. And we hope that next year for our Empretec Summit 8, so we can we can meet in presence, and we can have the further discussions and also further cooperation in this regard. Thank you so much. And Mr. Nemo, also please convey our warmest regards to Excellency Martin, and again, look forward to our further collaboration. Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, as I said, that that really concludes our first panel, and we now proceed with the second part of the summit, with the second panel. And so we will now look more specifically at the Empretec program and what it means, behavioral approach. This summit is attended by many participants from Empretec centers, but also many participants from outside of the Empretec program, and they may not be really very familiar with the details. So let's get on the same board in terms of what really Empretec's, what is Empretec? What is Empretec program? So in simple words, as I mentioned before, Empretec is acronyms of two words, Emprendedores and Technology. And so let me share the screen. I hope that it will be possible to do. Can you see it now?
Yes, we can.
Okay, very good. So thank you. So then, so it's acronyms of two words, and so Emprendedores and Technologia, so which means Empretec, and its capacity building program based on the behavioral approach, as we already discussed during the first summit. So this is a very quick chart to show the numbers, and so it started in 1988 in Argentina, and again, you can be very much welcome representatives, participants from Argentina to mark this long-term cooperation with us. So, we have the installation, the roots of the program in more than 50 countries and many more requests. So this is the map. Again, we have the representatives of several centers today. Here is the world map to show the presence of Empretec across the continents. So we talk about the competencies itself. So this is really part of this behavioral approach. So the difference of Empretec, as we discussed, is to look at the entrepreneurship promotion, entrepreneurship skills promotion from a behavioral approach, from a perspective of individual characteristics of successful entrepreneurs. So have you ever thought what makes some entrepreneurs so successful? And then, do successful entrepreneurs have anything in common? So the Empretec approach is based on methodology, which is designed to identify and then unleash personal entrepreneurial potential of each participant through acquiring or strengthening his or her entrepreneurship profile and through a behavioral change. And it looks at behavioral change as a key factor from an individual to successfully achieve his or her own goals in the entrepreneurship undertaking. So, and what are these key characteristics? So that there are 10 characteristics that are presented on this slide, or competencies, as they are called in the Empretec environment. And each competency is associated with 3 behaviors. So we will, these are the competencies, and we hear about the behaviors in a moment. So Empretec basically has 2 main elements. One, methodology on assessing individual differences in a person's desire and potential to achieve excellence as it applies to entrepreneurship. And second part is methodology on fostering such desire and potential as a trainable ability. Based on the assessment part, each participant gets his or her individual profile of an entrepreneur, which also becomes a role map during the workshop and also after the workshop to strengthen these key competencies. So this is how it looks like. So after this second part of the methodology, after the second part, we apply the methodology when participants are learning more about these competencies based on interactive exercises and games that train resilient, motivated, and determined entrepreneurs. So this is how it looks on this chart, the approach, to identification of competences and then training them, and also based on that, providing further tools how to facilitate the competences further on after the workshop is completed. So I will stop here and give the floor to our moderators, Mr. Roberto Gandara and Mr. Renata Santos, international master trainers who delivered hundreds of Empretec workshops in many countries. So they will provide further details on what it needs to train a successful entrepreneur, what it means, what successful entrepreneur means, and how to train a successful entrepreneur. And then successful is really a keyword here. So Roberto and Renata also present success stories of real entrepreneurs, explaining how Empretec behaviors have helped them to be resilient in the COVID-19 crisis and even to open new business opportunities. So Roberto, Renato, you have the floor, please. And we will proceed with the part 2 of the summit.
Thank you very much, Tatiana. It's a pleasure to be here with all of you today. Now that Empretec has been uncovered, for those of you who are not yet Empretecos, let's get a closer look to the main topic of the program. Empretec is about entrepreneurship, and entrepreneurship is about people. Living a sometimes lonely journey, entrepreneurs face several challenges to make their visions real, to make their business feasible, and to please others with their accomplishments. It is a singular choice that brings joy in itself. Although entrepreneurs focus the outcomes, the most successful ones also enjoy their routine, built by themselves to achieve what they seek. It is a very similar journey to another category that we all have learned to treasure and admire, the athletes. Sportsmanship has many similarities with entrepreneurship, beginning with the fact that outcomes ultimately depend on efforts, and also that, as it is with entrepreneurs, athletes are more successful as they have clear visions of what they want and are more committed to accomplish it. That is the reason for our next video to build a metaphor between the business world and the sports world. The video, please.
Sorry, we are missing the sound. Can we start again, please?
What is entrepreneurship? Who is the entrepreneur? Entrepreneurship is a set of skills and behaviors that What is entrepreneurship? Who is the entrepreneur? Entrepreneurship is a set of skills and behaviors that drive you to accomplish your dream. It's the ability to achieve, to build, to succeed, not only in business, but in life itself. Anyone and anything could spark the entrepreneurial spirit. For sure, you can think of occasions in which you use entrepreneurship to accomplish your goals. But entrepreneurs are the ones who do it often and have it rooted deeply inside. It is such an important feature in human history that we know the strongest entrepreneurs by name. We think of them, admire them, wish to be like them, and what does it take? Entrepreneurs work today to accomplish tomorrow what they have viewed yesterday. So the first step is a vision, a dream, and the will to make it happen. But winning is not enough. Something is needed to leverage the ability to reach out. It might look like a problem, a need, a sometimes wasted resource about which no one really cares. It is there, but others do not even see it. Entrepreneurs call it opportunity and build a new world out of it. Once they touch it, it looks like pure magic. But they are not magicians. They are achievers. And they start with a goal, a vision so strong and so clear, it becomes impossible to ignore. Stronger than themselves, compelling them to wake up earlier and sleep later, to walk the extra mile, to give what it takes. And do not misjudge that winning is all. It is just the first step. First steps are important, but never enough. It takes planning, it takes thinking, and then trying, failing, falling down, and standing up once and again. Training, practicing. They do it to better themselves and to better their visions. They plan and they make it happen. It always seems easier from the outside. Others see the tip of the iceberg. The entrepreneur knows that the submerged part is way larger. It takes energy, time. It takes the most of their entire lives. Sometimes the road ahead might look smooth for others, but reality shows a different picture. The road is far harder than in their plans. It is part of the game. It is a test that checks what they are made of. It's the dreamers from the achievers. It is the oven that cooks the taste of success. In many times, winning seems impossible. The weight seems unbearable. The adversary seems unbeatable. There are many nights when despair breaks, several days that seem endless. And in a tiny part of the road, there are also small victories that appear just when they are about to be knocked down. You have to fight back, hit harder, stay the course. Entrepreneurs do not have their eyes only on the road. They also see the destination. It drives them to keep moving and gives them energy that no one understands where it comes from.
The energy that allows them to keep on moving, to approach the many difficulties as if each of them was the only one. They do not compare themselves to others. This is no measure. They compare how close they are to their goals today than they were yesterday. This is all that matters. But they do not do it alone. They are no heroes, they are entrepreneurs. They need other people together with them. People who work as a team, people who believe and share the vision, who understand the rules, dare to pursue the goal and to play the game. Sometimes it happens quickly, but more often it takes years, decades, time and time again to finally be ready for that move, that deal, that achievement. The moment when the entrepreneur feels that everything was worthwhile, that it all happened for a reason, that the mission was accomplished. It is the moment they have been longing for before starting over. Curious facts happen after that. Entrepreneurs grow bolder, daring, confident. They feel ready to tackle more in even more unusual and surprising ways. They become legends because they do what others would like to do. Their success and achievement inspire others and remind the rest of us of what could be. What if you unlock your potential now? What if you dare to follow your dreams? What if you live your life as if it was the only one you have?
We could say that success will be awaiting, but this is not true. Failure is a frequent companion. Why that does not bother the entrepreneur? Because the real goal is not the end, it is the path itself. It is never about reaching a sweet spot. It's about the choices you make and how you manage them along the trip. The entrepreneur does not choose the road only because of the destination. Having the steering wheel is as important as getting there. Being able to drive all the way, learn from the mistakes, and celebrate the achievements is also part of the successful journey.
Who is the entrepreneur? Could you become one? This is a question only you can answer, but once you have made your decision, there are tools and resources that may help you to move ahead.
Today, we celebrate one of the most powerful available worldwide. Today, we celebrate Empretec.
Okay. Very good. Thank you. Now, now that we have seen and been inspired by several sports people, observing their challenging path and work towards achievement, let's talk to frontline successful entrepreneurs. And we have here today two outstanding ones from two different countries, Nigeria and Brazil. So let's start with Mrs. Bosun Solarin from Lagos, Nigeria. I ask you please, Bosun, to connect, turn your sound on, please. And Mrs. Bosun is a highly resourceful individual, passionate, hardworking, and energetic entrepreneur. She's involved in the agribusiness industry in Nigeria with several initiatives. She attended the Empretec training workshop in February last year, February 2020. And her improvement in business after that was really outstanding. So please, Bosun, we welcome you here in this session, so you can share your experience with us. Are you there? Bosun, your sound is on. Yeah. Bosun, we cannot hear you. We have some problems with your sound. Not yet. Can please the technical support check what is the problem, please?
Roberto, meanwhile,
Yes.
perhaps we can make the opposite. We can start by the other business case and then we
Yes.
move to Ms. Bosun Solarin, okay?
Yes, yes, let's do that.
Bosun, it's a great pleasure to have you here with us. Roberto and I had the pleasure to meet and to be the trainers who delivered Empretec for Bosun in Nigeria, February 2020. It's a great pleasure to have you here. But now that we are switching and having the other interview first, I would like to introduce Ms. Agda Oliver from Brazil. Agda is an entrepreneur who had the opportunity to take the Empretec workshop in 2010. I also had the pleasure to be her trainer at that point. And she is a very successful entrepreneur in Brazil because she has started a business with a singular touch, I would say, women's touch, that she will be able to share with us in a couple of minutes. Only I'd like to let all the participants of this event know, since Ms. Agda Oliver does not speak English, I'm going to switch my language to Portuguese, and I will speak Portuguese with her. And the translation of the event will be made to your phones in English, okay? So I'm switching now. Agda, é um grande prazer ter você conosco aqui no 7º Empretec Summit e ter a oportunidade de ouvir um pouco da sua história, das suas realizações e de tudo que você tem enfrentado e tem feito no seu negócio desde que a pandemia começou. Antes de ouvirmos o seu depoimento, a gente vai passar um vídeo que conta um pouco da história da Agda. Agda Oliver was also a finalist for the 2020 Women in Business Awards, and we're now playing a video that tells a bit about her story and was used during the event in December 2020. So please, the video on the story of Ms. Agda Oliver. I'm sorry for this technical issue. We'd like to call for the video on Ms. Agda Oliver story for Women in Business Awards event in December 2020. Okay, I'm sorry for yes.
Immense barriers as they pursued opportunities that would set them on an equal footing with men, right from access to and control over the property.
There is no image.
Inheritance rights, lack of finance, technology and time, and freedom of movement. The struggle for equal rights and freedom from societal norms has been long and still continues. Against all the odds, women show extraordinary strength to reach economic opportunities and start their businesses. Afua comes from a small village in Africa. As a teenager, she and many other girls and women did not have access to feminine hygiene products. Today, her company provides women in her community with feminine hygiene products. Since she was a little girl, Inez dreamt of being a teacher. Today, she runs multiple schools across Brazil, teaching impoverished children for free. Nadia is a woman farmer in Lahore that uses sustainable agriculture practices to conserve the natural resources and the environment. Do they have anything in common that led them to success despite the barriers? Empretec program provides an answer. All successful entrepreneurs like Afua, Inez, and Nadia share specific core entrepreneurship competencies that are remarkably consistent from country to country and from person to person, and are applicable to women entrepreneurship. Today, Empretec training workshops are delivered by certified trainers of Empretec centers in more than 40 countries across the world. Since 2008, every 2 years, the most successful women from the Empretec network have the opportunity to apply for the Empretec Women in Business Awards to be recognized at a global level for their outstanding achievements and to inspire other women to engage and succeed in entrepreneurship. Join the Empretec program and become a winner.
Thank you very much. I've seen some of you have experienced some issues on viewing the video. We apologize for that, but now we're moving to listen a bit about Agda's story. So again, I'm switching to Portuguese so that we can interview her for the upcoming 10 minutes. The translation will be in English, and then later we turn to English. Okay?
Renato, can we try once more? Sorry, can you hear me? Can
Of
we
course,
try once more?
yes.
So
Yes,
sorry
you
about
may.
this.
Yes,
Okay.
you may.
Sorry, well, I'll try again. I'm sorry for the technical problem. You go ahead.
Okay, Celsa, thank you very much. We apologize for this technical issue, but better than having a video is having her live here with us now. So, switching to Portuguese now, Agda, nós tivemos um problema na apresentação do seu vídeo e eu acabo de dizer que melhor do que ter você em vídeo é ter você ao vivo conosco aqui hoje. Né, ter a oportunidade de conversar com você e aprender um pouco a partir da sua história, que é tão interessante. Né? Como a gente não teve a oportunidade de ver o vídeo, eu queria te pedir para, muito rapidamente, contar para a gente o que é a Meu Mecânico e o que ela tem de diferente de tantas outras oficinas mecânicas que existem no Brasil e no mundo.
A Meu Mecânico é a primeira oficina mecânica para mulheres do Brasil. Ela foi fundada em 2010. E veio com o intuito realmente de ajudar outras mulheres a conhecer o seu próprio carro. E o nosso diferencial é justamente ensinar as mulheres a cuidar do seu carro e trazer também as mulheres para dentro de uma oficina mecânica para trabalhar nesse ambiente que é tão masculino.
Perfeito, Agda. Então, a Meu Mecânico não só é destinada a um público-alvo só de mulheres, como empodera as mulheres ao se constituir de uma mão de obra principalmente feminina. Sem dúvida nenhuma, um caso de grande destaque, não só pela qualidade da oficina em si, mas pelo pioneirismo e pelo ativismo que ela gera. Então, Agda, eu queria te perguntar, como é que você e o seu negócio lidaram com a pandemia Covid-19 quando ela começou?
Foi um momento muito complicado, né? Inspirou muita preocupação na busca de caminhos para proteger a saúde da equipe e, ao mesmo tempo, em que procurava manter as contas da empresa em dia. Vi, assim, de um dia para o outro, o faturamento cair bruscamente e uma incerteza do futuro. Durante o isolamento social, a empresa ficou fechada e eu precisei criar estratégias para que meu negócio não fechasse de vez. Junto a isso, a redução de gastos, custos, seguiu sendo uma das alternativas para navegar por esse período onde a demanda pelo consumo foi reduzida no mundo todo.
Entendi, Agda. Então, até completando, aqui no Brasil, em particular, nós tivemos em várias cidades lockdowns muito rígidos que fizeram com que os negócios tivessem que parar suas operações, como a Agda descreveu aí. E agora, nesse momento, Agda, em que a pandemia ainda é um desafio presente para a maior parte do mundo, para a maior parte dos países e, inclusive, para o Brasil. Como é que você está trabalhando nesse momento para manter o seu negócio saudável?
Eu precisei ir para o mundo online, definitivamente. Eu comecei a fazer 2 lives semanais, tenho, inclusive, todas essas lives gravadas no meu perfil do Instagram, a fim de ensinar as pessoas em como lidar com seus carros na própria garagem, né? Já que esses estavam ficando parados por muito tempo, porque carro parado também requer cuidados. E eu comecei a ensinar essas pessoas a fazer isso. Assim, eu consegui atrair novos clientes, pois, além das dicas, ainda anunciava que eu também estava atendendo a domicílio, que foi uma das alternativas que eu precisei fazer. Então, alguns serviços eu faço a domicílio, outros eu trago o carro para a oficina, né? Eu vou na casa do cliente, busco o carro e trago para a oficina, realizo todo o serviço e devolvo na casa do cliente com total conforto e, lógico, seguindo todos os protocolos de segurança.
Muito interessante, Agda. É interessante ver que, além de ter sido uma precursora no empoderamento feminino, você também está sendo uma precursora no que se coloca como uma das principais tendências de futuro para os negócios, que é a transformação das empresas em escolas. Então, essas lives, esses vídeos que você grava e que você disponibiliza nas suas redes sociais, acabam se tornando um negócio também, para o qual a maior parte das empresas está olhando hoje, que é também expandir as suas habilidades para o terreno educacional, para ensinar os seus próprios consumidores. Meus parabéns, isso é muito bom. Eu queria te perguntar, Agda, nesse momento a gente está aqui com empretecos e empreendedores de vários países do mundo que estão passando por esse mesmo momento tão desafiador que você está passando e que você está descrevendo para nós. Se você pudesse dar um conselho para os empreendedores de todo mundo que estão nesse evento conosco agora, que conselho seria?
Trabalhe para que a saúde financeira da sua empresa seja positiva o suficiente para imprevistos como esse que a gente está vivendo atualmente, né? Procure novas fontes de captar clientes e entenda a necessidade de escutar o real problema que ele tem. Nesse sentido, é crucial que todas as partes da empresa trabalhem de modo harmonioso. Para isso, é necessário que o gestor seja também assertivo e também demonstre calma e empatia. Seja flexível e, ao mesmo tempo, mantenha-se firme em relação à sua ideia, estando abertos para escutar novas soluções dos seus colaboradores. A gente consegue captar muita coisa boa de quem está trabalhando conosco.
Perfeito, tá joia, Agda, obrigado. Acho que, sem dúvida nenhuma, saúde financeira, né, e aproveitar não só os braços, mas também o cérebro da equipe, é algo muito importante para um negócio que consiga o destaque que o seu negócio tem conseguido. Né? A Agda se tornou uma verdadeira superstar aqui no Brasil, sendo sempre referenciada como uma empreendedora de pequeno negócio que construiu um diferencial sólido e que vem se mantendo ao longo do tempo. E, Agda, eu não posso deixar de perguntar isso, uma vez que você é uma empreteca e conhece o Empretec tão bem, se você pudesse eleger uma das 10 características de comportamento empreendedor que você considera mais importante para você, mas também para os empreendedores que estão aqui conosco, durante a pandemia, né? Qual das CCEs qual das características de comportamento empreendedor você elegeria?
Seriam várias, assim, nesse momento seriam várias CCEs que eu poderia eleger, né? Correr risco calculado, comprometimento, entre outras várias. Mas eu acho que a característica que mais se adapta comigo no momento foi realmente a persistência. Acredito eu que foi a mais importante para mim durante a pandemia, porque foi necessário sabedoria e agilidade para enfrentar as incertezas, sem desistir em meio a tantas turbulências no mundo todo. Eu precisei reavaliar e mudar os meus planos com o intuito de atingir meus objetivos e até superá-los.
Tá certo, Agda. Muito obrigado. Agda, a gente poderia te ouvir por mais horas ainda para aprender um pouco da sua experiência, aprender um pouco dessas lições que você pode nos trazer com todo o seu pioneirismo e todos os diferenciais que você criou no seu negócio. Mas a gente também tem outros empretecos de outras partes do mundo que a gente vai ouvir aqui hoje e a gente tem um tempo finito para o evento. Então, eu queria agradecer a sua presença aqui. Nós tivemos uma dificuldade técnica para apresentar o vídeo da Agda, então a gente vai colocar no chat, no bate-papo desse webinar, alguns links para vídeos da Agda que estão disponíveis na internet, para aqueles que quiserem conhecer a história da Agda Oliver e a história da Meu Mecânico com um pouco mais de profundidade. Agda, muito obrigado. Espero que você continue com a gente até o final, mas é um grande prazer ter a oportunidade de ter você conosco aqui hoje. Thank you very much. I see that now we have Agda's video here available to be played. So I'll give the floor to our technical assistants to play the video that will display a bit about Agda Oliver's business case. Celsa, please, you may move on.
Eu sou a Agda Oliver, da Meu Mecânico. Tenho a empresa há 10 anos. A empresa começou de um momento em que eu fui enganada numa oficina e, por isso, procurei o Sebrae, fiz especialização e montei a minha empresa. Hoje eu trabalho com ajuda na comunidade, ensinando mulheres e homens também a cuidarem do carro. dando dicas para aquelas pessoas que não entendem nada desse setor automotivo. Ser mulher empreendedora não é fácil, e ainda mais quando a gente tem uma atividade tipicamente masculina, como oficina mecânica. A gente tem passado por vários preconceitos aqui na empresa, não só eu, mas como toda a minha equipe, a maioria mulheres, mas a gente tem o discernimento de respeitar as pessoas e mostrar para essas pessoas que a gente pode fazer um trabalho legal, um trabalho bacana, entregando compromisso, ética e transparência. Ser mulher numa empresa tem trago para a gente a certeza de que podemos ser o que quisermos. Basta a gente acreditar, estudar e ir muito além, porque nós somos capazes. Depois do Empretec, eu entendi que eu precisava de uma pessoa para poder me ajudar e assim delegar tarefas e assim eu teria mais tempo para tomar conta da gestão da empresa. Foi onde eu contratei a minha primeira funcionária mulher, que começou a trabalhar comigo no ano de 2012. O Empretec foi um divisor de águas na minha vida. Lá eu aprendi também a autorresponsabilidade, que é algo que eu divido muito hoje com a minha equipe, com uma motivação. Não é fácil empreender, não é fácil ter o próprio negócio. Mas eu trabalho com muito amor, eu me entrego muito a isso daqui. Muitas vezes eu deixo minha família, meu esposo, meus filhos, para poder me entregar à minha empresa. E eu acredito muito que eu ajudo muitas pessoas lá fora. Muitas mulheres, funcionárias que às vezes elas mesmas nem acreditavam nelas, que elas eram capazes de fazer o que elas fazem hoje. Eu sei que eu sou uma pessoa inovadora, isso está dentro de mim. Mas passar isso para outras pessoas e fazer com que as outras pessoas acreditem nas minhas crenças, isso realmente não é fácil. Esse prêmio tem trago para mim a certeza de que eu estou no caminho certo e de que eu estou fazendo a coisa certa.
Thank you very much, Celcha. Congratulations once more, Agda, for the amazing story and the emotional testimonial that you have shared with us. Agda, mais uma vez, muito obrigado pela história fantástica e pelo testemunho emocionante que você dividiu conosco aqui. Now I'd like to invite my colleague Roberto Gandara to move on to interview our next guest.
Thank you, Renato. Congratulations, Agda. Amazing story, amazing case. Now let's move to Bosun. Let's try again. Bosun, are you there, please?
Yes, I'm here. Good afternoon. Can you hear me now?
Yes, perfectly. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to have you here. Yes, and to see you after a full year since we met together with Renato at that workshop, Empretec workshop, in February last year. So please, Bosun, to start up, tell us what happened during last year after you finished Empretec workshop. What were the main challenges you have faced during the pandemic, and what could you do to overcome them? Yes, Bosun, can you hear me? Now the sound is bad again. Please, Bosun, turn off your video and let's see if the sound is better. Not really.
Hello?
Yeah, speak slowly, please.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, Bosun, go ahead.
Yes. Like the earlier speaker said, COVID brought loss of revenue, loss of markets. However, one good thing that worked for me and my business was the Lagos state government introduced the feed market. Because they knew people need to restock their food. So we brought prices to be involved in the market.
Hey, Bosun, we are still facing some cuts in your voice. So we really cannot understand your speech. Sorry for that. It's cutting a lot. It's cutting off a what we can do while we try to overcome this technical problem, I'll just speak to the audience because we have talked before, Bosun and us, and she shared with us some of the challenges she has faced last year. So I will share quickly with you. So what happened last year is that they also had a lockdown in Nigeria. So and Bosun deals with farming. She's in the agribusiness.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yes, it seems so.
Okay. Yes, I was saying, like the other speakers said earlier, COVID came about with loss of revenue, loss of markets. But we became involved in the Lagos State intervention market, where people could come out in their local areas to source for food items. That helped us a bit, and then we were able to sell. And then going from there, opportunities also came that I used the social media to let people know that we can deliver to their houses. So we used the digital method to begin to sell. And then we use logistics companies to deliver to them. That also helped us. Along the line, I also introduced through the social media that because people were packaging food products for their loved ones. And I said, we could help, since we have the pass to go out, we could help them to make purchases. And some of the high net worth individuals in the society, one gave me to package 300 foodstuffs of 5 kg of rice and gari for 300 people. We did that perfectly, although with some challenges. One of the challenges was that where I got the bulk quantity of what I based my calculation on, the quantity in the bag instead of 50 kg was not up to. I could have just delivered like that, but for my integrity and that of my business, I had to buy one more bag using part of my profits to do that. And so doing that, then we were to go and deliver. The vehicle that was to come and pick me refused to show up. I had to pay more to deliver right on time. And the woman was so happy that she gave me a commendation. She gave me extra money. And then she said, oh, we do this every time, twice in a year. I am not going to do it in my house again. You will be handling it. 3 months down the line, she gave me to package for 500 people. So that was part of, yes. And then the COVID period helped me particularly to push up myself in knowledge. I had enrolled in ITC SME Trade Academy before, and I did several courses. Right now, I have about 40 certificates on ITC SME Trade Academy. I also used that period also as a member of She Trades in the Commonwealth, attended webinars, attended trainings, and that eventually culminated in digital forum that we had in February. So I'm waiting for Dubai Global, which are all offshoot. And adding that again, She Trades also helped us to go through training on HACCP. It's hazard and critical control, and hazard analysis and critical control points in manufacturing process, whereby if I have that certification, I can compete globally when I have HACCP on my product. And I also did organic certification. So all this, and then while Her Excellency from Nigeria was talking, she mentioned about survival funds. We got that survival funds, 4 of us in my business for 3 months, and it was all free. The government also introduced palliatives to register within the local regulatory NAFDAC in the country. And we registered at very low price. 5 of my products will be licensed in the next 1 month. So those were things that we achieved during COVID.
Amazing, Bosun. While so many people were crying and, well, with reason, facing so many difficult times, we can see that you really could overcome all those difficulties and find so many new opportunities and really commit to the client and finding new opportunities, commit to the client, keep on seeking for additional information and additional certifications and studies, so those could open up more opportunities for you, new fields. Congratulations for all that effort and the outcomes that you are from a local farm entrepreneur to going global in different fields. That's amazing. And you told me yesterday as well that when you started, by the time you attended Empretec workshop, we just had dealt with 8 products in your agro-processing business. And now you have 27 lines of products, right? So you expanded that as well.
Yes. Well,
very good.
I started out as a farmer in 2017. One thing that was behind my mind was that I wanted to do backward integration so that when I don't have raw materials, I can leverage on the ones I have. So that helped a bit because then I could source my raw materials from my farm. So from 8 products in December 2019, I kept with opportunity seeking. I told you yesterday that my brain became an antenna that kept picking opportunities around me. I wasn't allowing any opportunity to go by. I would seize it and pick it. So what that has done for me is that I kept researching and I kept coming out with new products every time. And that's why today, the ones I wasn't producing, in fact, 5 of my products are not really mine, but I get them in bulk from good suppliers and I repackage. In fact, if you can see, I also went after, these are some of my products that you have seen before, and then these are things we do. So for that, I chose a packaging system that could compete globally, that is biodegradable, that is acceptable all over the world. So now I have 27 products in my kitchen. But one funny thing that research will do, even while I was waiting, I have moringa tree in my compound here. And each time I keep cutting it off, I keep cutting it off. And one day my antenna picked the opportunity that you're just wasting money.
Yes.
Today, just about 3 weeks ago, I started harvesting the moringa. I dry and I mill into powder because moringa is universal. It's nature's gift. So that I package that now. In fact, I also researched. I have other variants. I do moringa and ginger. I do moringa, ginger, and turmeric. So you have 3 variants to pick from my moringa. And that's how I have built up my product base.
Very good, very good. And moringa is excellent for health. By the way, I need more of your spice. I bought one package of a product from Bosun that's turmeric with ginger. That's delicious. I use it up to the end. I prepared several dishes with that. One more thing. Yes, thank you, Bosun. One more thing. Please let us know about the Empretec experience, how it helped you along the way in terms of the PECs, the personal entrepreneurial competencies that you most used during this period. Which were the ones? You already mentioned one, opportunity seeking and initiative.
I have used all the 10 PECs. You see, you acquire a behavior when you do something consistently. Thinking of opportunities and what I can do.
We're having cuts on your voice again.
Okay. All right. I do not allow any customer to pass by me without buying anything. So I will keep researching, and that's why I have 27 products. So I'm going to keep researching and be bringing out more so that when I am somewhere, it's not as if I am not selling. There's always something you can buy from me. And from your experience, our products are made in very neat environments with food safety standards because I have done all those courses in mind. So for me, opportunity seeking is the greatest I have put to use. And that's how I've been able to come by 27 products. And more are still in the pipeline. One that I am using currently now is Goal setting, I have set that goal after the training on HACCP. It requires a lot of money, $1,500 to get the certificate. I have set a goal of 6 months. By November 30th, I want to get my HACCP so that I can compete globally with other products in the market, in the global market. I have, for us too, information seeking is key. When I needed to, in fact, before I started asking for registration with the local authorities, I knew I needed to build a food safety standard production outfit. So I had to seek for funds. How did I seek for that funds? I looked at some of the things I have in the house because it was difficult to seek for funds in Nigeria. I had to look at some things that I have, sold some of my stock instead of complaining, and I used that. I put up this outfit. Right from this outfit, I have been able, so that's when it's talking about takes action to introduce the product into new area of obtaining finance and equipment. That's under opportunity seeking. I've been able to put up a fantastic production hub that now others come and use, new processors and old processors who cannot afford it, they come and use and they pay me money. Even this morning, I have done consultancy job because now I consult for people on food processing. I have gone out this morning somewhere far away to go and to go and show the person how to construct her food processing hub. That I have done this morning and I have made money. Before this, I left early in the morning, I have come back. In fact, systematic planning, I make sure all those tasks, I break them into smaller units so that one, we will not waste time in accomplishing them. Information seeking, I get from my competitors. When I needed to buy machines, one of my competitors, while asking her for information, was the one I finally bought from. She has also introduced good suppliers to me, taking calculated risks. Of course, there's nothing you do that there are no risks. But taking calculated one helps you not to lose funds. Demand for quality and efficiency. I can tell you, the woman I told you I work for gave me a commendation. I can go on and go on. Persistence and commitment. I have used all the 10 pegs. They have formed part of me. Thank you.
You really have used all of them. Yes, amazing, amazing. Thank you very much, Bosun, for your testimony. I'm certain you're going to reach out that goal and becoming global. And thanks for the whole the class that you just gave us on the field application of all the 10 personal entrepreneurial competencies from Empretec workshop and Empretec program. So let's close here so we can still listen to other testimonies from other different countries. Thank you very much, Bosun, again. So Tatiana, please, I pass the floor on to you.
Thank you, Roberto, and thank you, Renata, for moderating this very impressive session, looking into the details of how Empretec really can help to facilitate resurgence and emergence of new enterprises. So we really have, a few other also feedbacks that we would like to share with participants. So without any further delay, because we're really running out of time, first of all, I would invite to Mr. Dorothy Gunon from Benin, who is director of the Empretec Benin, to share his experience. Dorothy, you have the floor, please. Dorothy?
Oui. Oui,
yes, we can see you.
Monsieur Gounon et non Madame Dorothée. Merci beaucoup, Tatiana, pour cette opportunité que tu me donnes en tant que directeur du centre Empretec au Bénin pour présenter l'expérience de la vulgarisation du programme Empretec au Bénin. J'espère que vous m'entendez. Vous m'entendez? Alors, ceci dit, c'est bon. Alors, le centre de promotion et d'encadrement des petites et moyennes entreprises que j'ai l'honneur de diriger est un service de développement des entreprises et il est l'un des premiers centres Empretec établis en 2011 en Afrique francophone avec l'appui technique et financier de la CUNICED sous le leadership bien efficace de Madame Tatiana Kirilova, chef de la sous-division entreprise de la division des investissements et des entreprises à la CUNICED. Tatiana, toutes mes reconnaissances pour ce soutien que tu nous as apporté pour la vulgarisation du programme Empretec en Afrique francophone. Grâce à ce soutien, le CPEP, que j'ai l'honneur de diriger, a joué un rôle important pour la vulgarisation du programme de formation Empretec dans quelques pays francophones de l'Afrique. Dans mon pays, Togo,
Dorothy, we cannot hear you very well. You seem to be muted.
No. Je ne crois pas. Un instant. Non, mon micro est bien ouvert. Ça va? Vous m'entendez maintenant?
Yes, it's better now.
OK. OK. Et donc, je dis, grâce au soutien de la CUNICED, le CPEP a joué un rôle important pour la vulgarisation du programme de formation Empretec dans quelques pays francophones de l'Afrique, notamment au Bénin, dans mon pays, au Togo, au Cameroun et à Maurice. La pandémie de la COVID-19 a eu un impact négatif sur tous les agents économiques, en particulier sur les petites et moyennes entreprises. Mais cette crise a ouvert des opportunités pour certaines entreprises. Dans ce contexte, j'apprécie avec beaucoup de satisfaction l'initiative de la CUNICED qui a organisé une série de webinaires pour apprécier l'impact du programme Empretec sur les entrepreneurs, bénéficiaires et son rôle dans l'atténuation des effets de la COVID-19 sur leurs affaires. Pour le Bénin, ce webinaire a été une très bonne opportunité pour donner davantage de visibilité au plan national et international au programme Empretec de la CUNICED dans notre pays, surtout à travers l'impact de la formation Empretec sur 3 entrepreneurs qui, à travers leurs témoignages, ont révélé les compétences acquises qui leur ont permis d'accroître leurs activités malgré la pandémie de la COVID-19. Sinon, comment comprendre que dans ce contexte de crise de la COVID-19, la promotrice de l'entreprise Les Jus Tilou SA, bénéficiaire de la formation Empretec au niveau de notre centre, au niveau du CPEP, ait pu accroître son volume d'affaires en passant de 2 clients à 5 clients internationaux. C'est déjà un indicateur très important. Elle est passée dans cette crise-là de 2 clients à 5 clients internationaux. C'est dans ce même contexte que cette entreprise a également fait évoluer sa forme juridique en passant d'établissement unique personnel à celle de société anonyme de transformation d'ananas biologiques en pur jus pour des marchés africains et européens. Et voici quelques extraits des témoignages de Mme Marcos Guedegbe Ibidou, promotrice de l'entreprise Les Jus Turou, lorsque nous avons reçu à ce webinaire en décembre dernier. Elle nous dit ceci: je pratique au quotidien les compétences apprises lors de l'atelier Empretec dont j'ai bénéficié au CPEP en 2011. Grâce à la planification et au suivi systématique, j'ai pu anticiper en concluant les accords commerciaux pour la mobilisation de la matière première locale, l'ananas. L'indépendance et la confiance en soi m'ont permis de maintenir mon personnel engagé durant la crise et de chercher des opportunités au-delà des règles établies. Enfin, en usant de mes compétences de persuasion et de réseautage, j'ai pu convaincre les autorités locales à m'aider pour résoudre les difficultés d'approvisionnement en ananas et les difficultés d'approvisionnement en emballage pour l'exportation de mes produits. Alors, je vais conclure, mesdames et messieurs, en disant que je confirme, au-delà de ce témoignage, que la capacité d'adaptation développée par les Empretecos dans le contexte de la COVID-19 est la preuve que le programme Empretec reste un outil privilégié pour booster l'entrepreneuriat en vue de l'atteinte des objectifs de développement durable, même en situation de crise. Et ça, c'est ma position en tant que directeur de centre Empretec chargé de vulgariser ce programme dans la sous-région et de renforcer les compétences des entrepreneurs pour le développement de nos économies respectives. Je vous remercie une fois encore. Merci Tatiana de me donner l'opportunité de parler de ce programme dans les francophones. Et merci également de nous accompagner pour traduire le matériel de la pour booster davantage l'utilisation de ce matériel dans les pays francophones. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dorothy, for sharing your experience and for great cooperation in Benin, but also in Francophone Africa. Thank you very much. So the next speaker is Director of Empretec India, Mr. Arnab Chakraborty. Arnab, you have the floor, please.
Thank you very much, Tatiana. My greetings to one and all gathered here to celebrate the oneness of the 500,000 strong Empretec family, the oneness that lends vitality, resilience, and competitiveness to the spirit of entrepreneurship, which lifts societies to prosperity and abundance. Over the last decade of Empretec's most eventful life in India, the program has inspired and empowered entrepreneurs, policymakers, bankers, drivers of human talent and ingenuity, profit and sustainability in large corporations. We work with agro-entrepreneurs, tech entrepreneurs, aspiring and early stage entrepreneurs, women in business, and have harnessed the essence of the Empretec methodology to develop the Empretec HERA program launched at the UN House in New Delhi in November 2018 by the then Honorable Minister of Commerce and Industries of our country, Dr. Suresh Prabhu. The HERA program is a multi-level, multi-stakeholder, and a multidisciplinary effort where high-impact entrepreneurs subscribed already to the Empretec movement form centers of excellence around themselves, their enterprises, and at a higher level, the communities and provinces or districts they work with and serve. Behavioral value chains of HERAs, HERAs means diamonds in Hindi and in several Indian languages. And it's also an acronym for high impact entrepreneurs from emerging regions for action. So behavioral value chains of HERAs develop to form communities that promote introspection and learning, feedback and disclosure, empathy and practice, culture and consciousness. And value chains of HERA practitioners build up over time, attracting new businesses to themselves, creating jobs, wealth, and abundance in the process. I'm happy to report that the HERA initiative is being installed in India at the district level with support from multiple ministries, commercial and development banks, transnational corporations, chambers of commerce, and even UN agencies such as the UN Women, UNDP, and UNIDO. Any transition worth pursuing involves a leveling up of mindset, and this takes time, as building any good habit does. So in addition to moving entrepreneurial behaviors to habit and thence to character, our Empretec heroes invest in the development of community consciousness as opposed to ego consciousness, and are also in this for the long haul. I know that many of our heroes and heroes in the making are looking to build not just trade, but serious investment-based business linkages with Empretecos in many of the Empretec countries worldwide. Here, allow me please to encourage and invite my counterparts, national directors and coordinators from other Empretec centers, to set up business exchange programs between top performing Empretecos in our respective countries, allowing them to explore access to markets, technology, and finance between themselves, bringing our countries closer by using a common and effective business language for collaboration and friendship. I wish to thank UNCTAD and Dr. Tatiana Krylova for your unique facilitation of Empretec's global movement. Both Empretec India Foundation and many a hero in my country are grateful for your selfless contributions in developing and promoting this incredible framework and network that brings realism and rationality to the I can from the entrepreneur, moving her from being driven by emotion and instinct to being driven by practice and purpose. Namaste, and thank you very much.
We lost the sound. Thank you, Arnab. We lost the sound in the end, but we realized that you were really appreciating the impact of Empretec and you know its influence on promotion of entrepreneurship in India. On our part, thank you very much for your cooperation and your resilience and your determination in promoting Empretec in India, but also in facilitating the networks, because as you rightly said, it's really a great tool to facilitate also cross-border businesses of Empretecers, besides of the role of Empretec centers to promote entrepreneurship at a national level. Thank you very much. So we now proceed. We're really very cautious about the time. So we have heard already from feedback from an experience from Francophone Africa, from Asia. So we still have yet 4 representatives from Latin America, from Europe, from Romania, and from Russia, and also from Angola. So representing really and reflecting on the variety of centers and its wide geography. So our next speaker to also share the feedback and the experience on Empretec in installation in Latin America is Ms. Ximara Frias from Dominican Republic. Ximara, you have the floor, please.
Muchas gracias, Tatiana, y a todos ustedes. La verdad es que tener integradas las competencias emprendedoras de Empretec, como Empreteca y como instructora de Empretec, lo ha hecho un hábito y nos permitió reaccionar rápido para sobrevivir el impacto de la pandemia. Las competencias que más nos ayudaron fueron búsqueda de información, porque nuestros servicios eran totalmente presenciales, y entonces nos acercamos a nuestros clientes corporativos para comenzar a investigar cuáles eran sus necesidades y de ahí encontrar nueva búsqueda de oportunidades e iniciativas. Y con los resultados de la investigación decidimos invertir en una academia virtual de aprendizaje que estuvo lista en 3 meses. Actuar rápido era importante con los programas de capacitación que necesitaban los empleados de nuestros clientes. Nos sirvió también para utilizar como plataforma inclusive para los talleres de Empretec y para desarrollar una plataforma online para mujeres emprendedoras. Nos sirvió también para adquirir, por tanto, muchos nuevos clientes clientes, pudimos expandir, aprovechamos las oportunidades de asistencia que dio el gobierno para poder financiarnos por la crisis económica. Así que no alejarnos de nuestros clientes fortaleció también nuestra red comercial. Inicialmente dábamos sesiones gratuitas por Zoom como una estrategia de persuasión para apoyarlos, pero para también ser prioridad cuando ya estaban listos para comprar. Utilizamos muchos proveedores aliados para negociar mejores términos de pago, muchos de ellos empretecos, y así se beneficiaba toda la cadena de valor. La siguiente competencia que utilizamos mucho fue definitivamente planificación y riesgos calculados. Tuvimos que invertir dinero aún dentro de la crisis económica y por tanto tuvimos que evaluar muy bien las diferentes ofertas, calcular el monto de venta que necesitábamos para mantener el negocio abierto y el tiempo en que íbamos a poder recuperar esa inversión. Y buscamos información, por tanto, también con diferentes expertos de plataformas tecnológicas para buscar cuál era más eficiente y acorde a nuestras necesidades y no gastar dinero de más. Capacitamos a todos nuestros facilitadores para garantizar la calidad y la eficiencia en cómo utilizar las nuevas herramientas virtuales para asegurar que estuvieran adecuadas al entorno virtual y tener entonces el logro de los objetivos de capacitación. Hoy día ya hemos recuperado toda la inversión de la plataforma, ya saldamos el 85% de nuestras deudas, mantuvimos a nuestros colaboradores, nadie quedó sin trabajo y tenemos un nuevo modelo de negocios que está corriendo y fortaleciéndose y nos ha permitido crecer. Yo estoy muy segura de que si yo hubiera sido empreteca, si no hubiera estado expuesta a estas competencias, hubiera sido mucho más difícil o realmente yo no lo hubiera podido lograr. Y yo noté mucho esa diferencia en otros empretecos, con quien también tuvimos en contacto, que realmente pudieron sobrevivir y hasta crecer en medio de la pandemia. Así que solo quiero dejarles el mensaje de que Empretec ha sido la mejor decisión empresarial de mi vida. Lo puede ser para cualquier otro también. Gracias, Tatiana.
We lost the sound.
We can hear you, Tatiana.
Xiomara, we lost the sound.
Xiomara has
Well,
passed the floor back
I
to
actually
you.
finished a few minutes ago. ¿Me escuchan?
Sí, escuchamos. Tatiana, can you hear us?
Okay.
Sorry, Xiomara, we lost the sound.
Can you hear me, Tatiana? I think she's facing some challenges with the sound.
I'm really sorry, we lost the sound, Xiomara, but thank you for your comments and also great cooperation, especially recently to develop online tools, which are progressing well. And so then we will be sharing them with the Empretec centers very soon. Thank you very much for your comments and for cooperation. So we now progress with our next representative. It's Empreteca, Ms. Nicoleta Hritu from Romania. Nicoleta, if you're connected, you have the floor, please.
Can you hear me? Hello.
Yes, we can.
So happy to be here. Empretec really changed my life, and I'm so honored to share a bit from my experience. In 2015, I was burned out and depressed after 5 years of hard work without any days off. But like me, I graduated Empretec Atelier in 2016. So I can share my results.
Nicoletta, I'm so sorry. We cannot hear you very well. Maybe our IT team can help us. Can you hear me? We cannot hear well.
I don't know.
We can hear.
Also maybe earphones?
We can hear her very well.
Yeah. Okay.
So may I continue?
Yes, please, we can hear you very well.
Okay, so in 2015, I had a turnover of 200,000 euros and 14 employees. And last year, I had a turnover of 2 million euros and over 82 employees. So I grown up my business 10 times in 5 years. And I can assure you that a very big part of it I owe to the Empretec Atelier. I'm a living proof from many that it works, and it's a very valuable and very powerful knowledge you share. So thank you. Now, my two businesses, Cuptorul Moldovence and Glazuraj, are among the greatest players on the market of pastry and sweets in Iași, Romania. And very soon I will be able to communicate that we became the leader of the market in Iași last year, the pandemic year, because we were very resilient. So what can I share from my experience from the pandemic last year? In March and April, our sales decreased by 20–30%, but we didn't fire people, we didn't close shops, we just took a break and fought a lot. We calculated the risks for various scenarios and we took decisions. And we have used specialists by revisiting our budgets and the investment plans. So we didn't fire people, we hire more people, we open more shops, and even a new laboratory where we are testing new lines of products. In our new laboratory, we launched three new line of products, gluten-free, raw vegan, and vegan products, and we are very proud to have these new products now on our shelves. This is not all. We are even this year opening a 1,000 square meters big laboratory to efficient. We want to make all the process more efficient, more cost efficient, because we want to have good prices, the good products we already have. And we will open 2 new stores this year also. So me and my team, we have applied the following skills consistently. Skills I've learned in Empretec Atelier: systematic planning and monitoring, opportunity seeking and initiative, persistence, fulfilling commitments, demand for efficiency and quality, and taking calculated risks. And all of this is from Empretec. So I'm really, really grateful for all that you shared with me and with all my colleagues from Empretec Atelier. This is all. Thank you. Thank you, UNCTAD. Thank you, amazing Empretec team. I'm so honored to be here among all the Empretec members.
Tatiana, can we hear us?
Yes. Yes, no, I could not hear you.
have problems with your sound.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
You can hear me now.
Oui, c'est bon.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much, and thank you, Nicoletta. 19 times. So we have also another Empretec from Russia. So I would like to ask Ms. Olga Chevalier to share your feedback.
Добрый день, здравствуйте, дорогие друзья, уважаемые коллеги, господа и уважаемые наставники. Я от всей души благодарю за возможность участия в вашем 7-м международном саммите Emprotec. Это большое доверие. Я являюсь предпринимателем с 1997 года, и за это время был пройден огромный путь успеха, неудач, кризисов экономических и также профессионального выгорания. Я прошла множество тренингов, прочитанные книги, и серьезная была работа. И в программу Emprotec я попала на пике своего профессионального выгорания, когда было непросто работать, сотрудничать с собой, с семьей, с государством. И те изменения в моей жизни, которые произошли, когда я обучалась на программе Emprotec, это колоссальные изменения. 7 дней интенсивного обучения под руководством наставников Дмитрия, Анны, Татьяны были такими насыщенными, теплыми и очень результативными. Для меня и для моей команды это было обучение высокого практического уровня. Интерес, который был в начале к этой программе, сменился серьезной работой в коллективе единомышленников. Изменения происходили ежечасно, каждую минуту, каждую секунду. И как результат это уверенность в себе, это увеличение бизнес-показателей, это улучшение отношений в семье, рост дохода. И когда вот пришла пандемия в прошлом году, 2020 года, мне и моей команде пришлось быстро перестраиваться. Мы перешли в онлайн, стали использовать все возможности, которые я сразу вспомнила, чему меня учила программа Emprotec. Это и поиск возможностей, инициативы, это настойчивость. Практически все компетенции я применила в это время. Были поставлены новые цели, мы старались рисковать продуманно, и убежденность и вера, и поиск новых деловых связей дал возможность мне и моей команде не только сохранить свои показатели, но и увеличить их. И статус миллионера, который у меня был на тот момент, я не только не потеряла, как многие мои коллеги, а наоборот повысила. Каждый день мы проводили обучающие уроки в Zoom, марафоны, активно использовали Яндекс.Доставку, стали друг другу роднее и ближе, так как активно поддерживали друг друга. Я вспоминаю сейчас это время, и счастье, и слезы на глазах от радости того, что в моей жизни была программа обучения Emprotec. Я благодарна каждому, кто дал жизнь этой программе и помогает нам, обычным предпринимателям, постоянно развиваться. Так как я работаю только с женщинами, и женщинам непросто в мире бизнеса, и рекомендую эту программу Emprotec каждой женщине, кто хочет быть еще более успешной и полезной этому миру. С уважением к вам из России, Ольга Шевалье. Спасибо огромное, я закончила. Татьяна. Пока я на связи, хочу сказать еще огромное спасибо всем предыдущим девушкам, которые выступали. Очень благодарна за ваш опыт. И благодарю Татьяну Крылову за доверие и за то, что у нас в России есть такая замечательная программа. Благодаря этой программе мы растем, развиваемся более успешно, легко и всегда с позитивным настроем на жизнь. Дороти, помогите, слышно? Татьяна, может быть, проблемы со звуком? Роберто?
We are trying to contact her. We are trying to contact Tatiana. Let's just wait a few seconds. Irais is even calling her to check her connection.
Thank you, Olga, for your inspirational comments, and also congratulations to you on your successful.
Благодарю вас. Спасибо большое. Всего доброго.
I'm really sorry because I'm experiencing some problems and I cannot hear, but I have the message that you hear. So I would like to again thank you, Olga, for your intervention. And we have the last speaker from Angola, Mr. Geraldo Basilio. Hello, can you hear me?
Eu estou a ouvir.
I'm sorry, Roberto.
Boa tarde a todos. Meu nome é Geraldo Basilio, sou angolano e falo a partir de Luanda. Sou empreteco, né? Sou empreteco e hoje estou aqui a falar em dois papéis. Papel como empreteco, empresário, e outro papel como instrutor do Empreteco. Gostaria de dividir a minha fala em três partes para mostrar um pouquinho como o Empretec impactou na minha vida. Bom, rapidamente vou falar da fase pré-Empretec, depois entrarei na fase Empretec, do seminário Empretec, e depois irei na fase pós-Empretec. 2003-2004, o Geraldo Basilio era formador cívico e líder das organizações não governamentais. Fundei e, junto de uma equipa minha, e assumi a presidência de uma ONG denominada Prodec, em 2009. E daí, além de ser presidente da ONG, ONG, como os outros dizem, também era formador de vários cursos, né? Desenvolvimento comunitário, desenvolvimento rural, agronegócio e por aí. E era dono de um pequeno negócio em sociedade com minha mulher. E nós tínhamos o lucro líquido por mês na média de $150, depois de pagamento do pessoal e outros, tínhamos mais ou menos $150 de lucro. E sempre pensando na busca de sustentabilidade do nosso negócio, nossa vida, eu ouvi falar de Empretec. Em 2018, logo me candidatei, quando vi que era um programa de empreendedorismo das Nações Unidas. Manifestei tão interesse, porque imaginava que esse programa tinha qualidade, que poderia me dar sustentabilidade, quer no meu negócio, quer na minha vida pessoal, na sociedade da minha mulher. Portanto, ao longo dos 6 dias do seminário Empretec, eu notou vários impactos que esse seminário fez na minha vida. A primeira coisa que Empretec fez, Empretec digamos assim, ensinou-me de uma forma de como posso olhar pelas oportunidades, né? Identificar as oportunidades de uma forma mais clara, né? Mais clara, consegui ver que havia mais oportunidade no nosso país. Enquanto o país estava num declínio econômico, né? Sabemos que o preço do petróleo, do ponto de vista internacional, quebrou e a economia do meu país, Angola, ficou abalado. Então, a Empretec me ensinou, quando consegui, com a Empretec, extrair desse ensinamento. Esse é o primeiro ponto. Segundo ponto, o ponto de planejamento, estabelecimento de meta, né? Eu aí aprendi também várias coisas, que os planos devem ser monitorados e revisados, né? E depois as metas desafiantes. Essas coisas, com risco calculado, né? Antes de se meter numa ação, tem que olhar com as dinâmicas tão lindas, tão educadoras que a Empretec leva. Portanto, ensinou-me a tirar a parte negativa de mim, que andou comigo até 2018, e criou em mim uma certa autoconfiança. E comecei já a olhar pela independência da minha cabeça. Mas mesmo assim, a minha visão, de uma forma geral, de mundo de negócio mudou. Portanto, além de me capacitar, o Empretec multiplicou a minha motivação sobre o mundo de negócio. E aí, comecei a olhar mais o mundo de negócio do que o mundo das ONGs. E aí, crio um pivotamento. Quer dizer, deixei o mundo das ONGs, deixei o mundo do trabalho comunitário. A visão era mais centrada agora nos negócios. E aí vem a fase pós-Empretec. E aí eu chamo de transformação observável. E eu chamo sempre esta fase, fase de metamorfose. Eu saí de catato, não sei como se chama catato nas outras línguas, para borboleta. Uma transformação irreversível. E aí eu decidi constituir uma empresa. Mas como também na Empretec nós aprendemos as vantagens de ter uma sociedade com as pessoas, então consegui constituir uma empresa com 3 sócios, né? Empresa chamada Quendi. Em março, enquanto o Covid estava já a assolar. Mesmo assim, nós nos propusemos este desafio. Este desafio, primeira coisa, porque a motivação era tanta e que os meus olhos eram tanto abertos, eu vinha mais oportunidade do que ficar sentado, ser submetido a esta corrente da Covid. Mesmo assim, eu decidi rolar a conta corrente. Criamos empresas em março de 2020, com meus sócios. Olhando pelas oportunidades, nós projetamos, fizemos um plano tão ambicioso, mas realístico, da faturação desafiante. Nós dizíamos aos colegas, e meus colegas, graças a Deus, foram também fazer Empretec, porque a minha linguagem estava muito diferente da linguagem anterior. Portanto, disseram, alguma coisa mudou em Geraldo. Foram fazer Empretec. Assim, começamos a falar da mesma linguagem. Conseguimos concorrer lá onde havia mais oportunidades, né? no meio rural do que no meio urbano, havia mais oportunidades. E aí, no primeiro concurso que nós conseguimos apostar, tivemos logo em concurso único um faturamento de mais de $10.000. Imaginemos sair dos lucros mensais de $150, através da Empretec, revolucionou minha mente, separou as águas dentro da minha parte negativa, caiu, a parte de médio caiu e comecei a projetar as metas muito desafiantes. Portanto, é uma das características que nós em Empretec temos, de ter metas desafiantes. Por quê? Consegui enxergar a oportunidade e essa oportunidade deu-me autoconfiança a lançar um desafio contra mim mesmo e contra a minha equipa. Conseguimos lá o primeiro contrato. E neste momento temos um contrato de $5.000. Portanto, nós estamos aí sempre revisando os planos, projetar as metas desafiantes, olhar para as oportunidades. E não só no âmbito de reforço de capacidade em agronegócio, que é uma área que havia muitas oportunidades no nosso país, mas também na produção de alimentos. E nós entendemos que, nesta época da Covid, as pessoas continuam a comer. Portanto, as pessoas sentem necessidade de continuar a ter alimentos. E nós lá nos lançamos também na produção de alimentos. E aí estamos a produzir milho, basicamente milho e soja e feijão. Mas também, do outro lado, estamos na fase de implantar a piscicultura e a apicultura. Portanto, neste momento, todo mundo está à procura de limão, todo mundo está à procura de mel. E nós criamos um apiário para produzir mel para a gente aqui. Portanto, são metas que lançamos no lado produtivo, mas do outro lado, nós temos a capacitação desses empreendedores rurais que estão aí sem capacitação e desses mesmos empreendedores rurais em agronegócio. E hoje, estamos aí, eu sou o CEO dessa empresa, com meus colegas, sócios, estamos a trabalhar para tentar trazer mais alimento e mais capacitação no meio rural. Agora, falando como facilitador, porque também eu sou facilitador em Empretec. Eu acho que em relação à minha facilitação, ou seja, sendo formador antes de Empretec, hoje, como facilitador em Empretec, como Master Trainer, olha, eu senti uma diferença abismal da minha facilitação antes de Empretec e minha facilitação hoje como instrutor em Empretec. O que mudou, Geraldo? Vou contar. Hoje, com o Empretec, instrutor em Empretec, tenho mais assertividade em relação aos conteúdos. Tenho mais assertividade em relação aos conteúdos, tenho mais planejamentos e valorização do tempo. Ontem não valorizava o tempo, trabalhava sem compromisso do tempo. Hoje aprendemos que o tempo é dinheiro.
Sorry, Geraldo, we need to close soon. 1 minute.
Ok, estou a terminar, muito obrigado. Respeito pelo princípio da educação da aprendizagem adulto, e respeito pelo critério de facilitação e mais cordialidade em relação aos participantes. Muito obrigado pela oportunidade que a UNCTAD nos concedeu. Muito obrigado pelo mesmo instrutor e muito obrigado pela toda a audiência. Obrigado.
Thank you very much, Geraldo, for your comments. And sorry again, I have some issues with the sound. But thank you for your passion, for your support, and congratulations on your.
Tatiana, I think we're experiencing some difficulties with your sound. Tatiana, if you hear me, we are experiencing some difficulties with your sound and image. We're not listening to you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now we can hear you.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I cannot hear you, but if you can hear me, so thank you very much. So then I will not be sharing the screen, but what I want to say is that we used to say that Empretec is for you. You know, first it's unique because it's based on unique methodology that was developed some time ago at Harvard. It's also universal because it's applicable to very different target groups, from low literacy people to high educated people in different industries and in different countries. And it's also unleashing, because we talk about unleashing of entrepreneurship potential. Yes, and can you hear me? Yes. So I was saying that we say that Empretec is for you because it is universal, it's unique, it's unleashing entrepreneurial potential, and it is uniting. So today we were celebrating the uniting nature of Empretec because we were able to gather all these different continents and deliver the summit in 7 languages. And we just look forward to strengthening further its uniting nature and further cooperation. So unfortunately, I cannot show this slide, but it's for you, meaning that it is for you. So join Empretec, and so then we would be really happy to cooperate further and to bring this wonderful methodology, wonderful tool to facilitate your business and to contribute to social and economic development. Thank you very much, and sorry for some technical issues, but we look forward to again working with you through our national Empretec centers in more than 40 countries. And I would like again to thank all panelists, all presenters, and also moderators, Roberto and Renato. Thank you very much, and again, wish you all success and stay safe in these difficult times. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you all. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. See you later.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Merci beaucoup. Obrigado.
Thank
Thank you, and bye-bye from Nigeria, from Lagos, Nigeria.
Salut Roberto. Et à bientôt. À demain.
Bye. Thank you
Bye,
very
Roberto.
much.
Thank you, Roberto. Thank you, Donato. Renato. Bye-bye.
Спасибо большое, спасибо огромное.
Спасибо, Ольга.
Спасибо. Спасибо.
Uh-huh.
Bye.